right there. And time.
Yeah, time to not anything holding you down to the place you're at, like a home.
Yeah. So is this your place?
This is my mom's place.
But this is nice.
Yeah. So she just got this. It would have been 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. But then I moved in, and now my girlfriend and me live here. Mm-hmm. So she just got a job over at the Gerstacker building. She's a PA over there.
Okay.
So she got a job over there, and we're saving up, and we're gonna buy a house in Midland here. Hopefully, whenever we save enough money up, and dip out, and then have her have a house, and then eventually I will take my little sabbatical.
Yeah.
Then be good.
Be gone. Yeah. No, because dude, I had never
been out here
ever.
Yeah. Is this like the most north?
I don't even know where I'm at. Like I said, I GPSed it.
I don't even know where I'm at.
And I just plugged it in, and when I got closer, it was saying like something.
Signal lost.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit. So I had to like exit out, reopen it, and it worked. But I was like, bro, I'm scared to get lost.
No, but the bus saves it.
Yeah. No, it definitely did, because I was like looking at my phone like, it says it's 700 feet, but I don't see no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there it is.
No, this is that's crazy, because like you coach at Meridian, so like you don't come. I mean, obviously here's like a little off of Claire, but
I'm not even from here.
Yeah.
So it's like me going to coach at Meridian was like everything was foreign to me.
Yeah.
Beaverton, Harrison. I'm like, what are these places? Like, I'm used to the West Side, so it's like seeing all that stuff is just.
West Side of Detroit, right?
No, I'm from Muskegon.
Oh, Muskegon.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So then, bro, it's been, so it's a huge culture shock from West Side of the state to obviously middle of the state.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I played at Wayne State too, so I lived on the east side. So I lived pretty much besides north.
Everywhere here.
Yeah, but besides north, and it was just like.
Yeah, no, it is a big difference.
Yeah. I seen a guy on a horse back there. I'm like, what?
Dude, you'll see like teenage girls just booking it with like 2 or 3 horses.
With horses.
Yeah. And that's not even like, usually it's carriages, but sometimes it's like they'll just straight up take the horse to the next
who's gonna
town.
stop him?
Yeah.
Who's gonna stop him?
It's and they all wave. They all say hi. They'll literally, if I'm sitting out here, they'll all just wave and keep going. It's funny. It's a funny place. But yeah. I figured it would be, honestly. I figured it would be kind of like but I'm all for it.
How'd
you get into then coaching in Meridian if you've never been, like, who got you into that?
So I initially had no desire to coach or do anything with football after I was done playing. So I came to Alma for a year, for my senior year actually, because my coach at Wayne State had left. And I get to Alma, I'm like, all right, I'm going to just go to school.
Yep.
They saw me, hey, you don't play. All right. So now keep in mind, I really haven't trained since the ending of Wayne State season.
Yeah.
So from October, November until July, I could actually play. All right, dude, I'll do it. And I get there second day. We do our bench press test, which I think is absolutely stupid. Tear my pec, and there's no trainer on staff. Well, there was a trainer at the school at the time. He was on staff, but he wasn't there. He was in Mount Pleasant.
Yep.
So I'm telling the coach, hey, my shoulder's numb. I can't feel anything. Like, I dropped the bar on my chest. One of my best friends caught it.
Yeah.
But he was like, what the heck? I'm like, I don't know, bro. So the coach tells me to take some ibuprofen. My chest swells up. I'm like, dude, this is not good. So I go to the doctor, and, basically they end up saying it was tore, whatever. So my season was pretty much either you get surgery or you try to figure out how to play through it. And I'm like, I'll figure it out. So I chose not to get surgery. It was the worst season of my entire life. A lot of lessons learned. But then when I stayed, I was okay, maybe I can. Cause I had one more year left. I'm like, maybe I can do one more.
Yeah.
With like a full off season, and then COVID happens.
Oh.
So I'm like, I'm done. Like I'm gonna, cause I mean you're online. You don't even know if life will ever be normal again. So, that's while I was in COVID or quarantine, whatever you want to call it. Met a girl, dated her. We're still kind of off and on now, and her alma mater is Meridian. So I was training her actually at school in the summertime because like you couldn't go to the gym.
Yeah.
So
and they got a nice gym.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, the coach there saw me, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" She was like, "Oh, that's the football coach." I'm like, "Oh, I ain't tripping about it." But like, part of me was kind of like, "Damn, I kind of want to ask if I can coach," but like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good." And she's like, no, you should talk to him. I'm like, man, I don't really want to talk to nobody. I don't really want to coach. But I was like, whatever. I'll ask and I'll tell him I'll volunteer my time if need be.
Yeah.
Turn to a full-time thing. It was weird, bro. It's like I just fell in love with it.
Though you went to one and you're like, okay.
Yeah. And like obviously the first shot, like I wasn't paid, but they paid me because I was there and I helped and it kind of helped rekindle that flame because like I run conditioning with the kids. I don't just tell you, hey, go run and I watch.
No,
I'm running with them. I'm gonna show them I can do it. I do all the drills. I demonstrate the drills that I have them doing, and I do it. We don't have a big enough team to run like full 11 on 11. So it'll be like our starters are like 5 or 6 backups, and then me on defense. And I'm calling out calls and telling them to go up there. I'm running. If I know it's a pass because I can kind of predict it. I'm going out to play corner on our best receiver. If it's a run play, I'm right in the middle, taking on blocks with the kids. Because
so how many kids did you have on the team this year?
This year was a little bit bigger.
17? Oh.
A little bigger. We had like true varsity guys would have been like 17, 18. Okay. Then we had like some guys that got pulled up, so 22.
So but you just did enough 22, obviously. So you could
practice. Yes. Yeah. The year after COVID though, my first year there, we had 14, 15.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because we had probably about 17, 18 again, but like every week would come in with 14 or 15 because of COVID.
And people,
it wasn't that kids had COVID. It was like, oh, so-and-so sat next to so-and-so in so-and-so class, and it was tracing. It was the trace shit. So like we would have a full staff on full roster Monday. By Wednesday, we're down to like 13 kids.
Yeah.
Debating on, can we even play this week? And then, and then we will pull up a kid just in case, and then the one kid will get out of quarantine, even though he was perfectly fine. And sometimes they'll literally come at the game to play.
Yeah.
So they'll miss like.
And you can't, and like as a coach, you're not gonna be like, oh, you weren't at practice all week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You gotta let them play.
Yeah, let them play. It's like our starting linebacker.
Fault.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
You were there. Like you could have been there.
It's just wild, dude. And so that first was kind of cluster fuck, and
I thought it was hilarious. The whole having to have the plastic face shields.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have that. So I came the year after that.
Yeah.
So the year after I got there, they were a little bit more lenient with that. But like, if we went to like a different school or whatever, we had to wear a mask on the bus. Yeah. On the bus, and then we got off the bus so that we can take it off. But like the biggest thing for us was like the tracing. So like these kids are around kids all day up until practice. Yeah. So let's say for example, so and so goes home at 10 a.m. Random kid with COVID symptoms. Every class he was in is traced, and then whoever he was within the vicinity of 6 feet was, oh, you got to go home now. Even the kid's fine. So you may be in class chilling, because I was a substitute there.
Yeah.
So I was in the class. All of a sudden, they'll call me, hey, Dontae, can you send down blah 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 blah. All right, bet. Hey, y'all got to go to the office. They come back. We got to go.
Yeah.
So it was just
you have to purposefully football players just can't hang out during school then.
Yeah, that's what it boiled down to.
Like
and it felt bad telling them like, hey, like,
you want to play though?
Stay around each other. Yeah. Because at least then it's like, all right, whatever. But like, if you around a bunch of randoms, bro. Or if you see someone that looks like they're kind of sick, stay away from them.
Yeah. I mean,
that's really all you. Yeah. It was common sense, but it wasn't so common because
it's also like a disruption to the class. If you're like, no, this person's coughing, I'm gonna go stand away from my desk and because I can't, like, I want to play football. But it's like, now the teacher's like, well, you can't do that.
And then what kids started doing was wearing their mask in school, because then the next rule came in that they're fine if they have the mask and they're by the person, they're fine.
Yeah.
So now we got our whole team just masked up
all the time.
Yeah, but then obviously, inevitably, they go home. They have younger siblings in the elementary, junior high. Same concept. So now the elementary kid or the junior, because I substitute in every building, the junior high or elementary kid goes home sick or is at home and gets sick. If you have a sibling in any of the other buildings, they are also now quarantined because they live in the same house as you.
Yeah.
So now you got to
obviously track that.
You can't just police the older guys. You have to make sure your siblings are good. Or if your siblings are sick, make sure that your parents call it in as, oh, we already went to the doctor and they're fine, but they just have an ear infection or something like that. Yeah.
Or we quarantine our kids at home.
Yeah, but some kids would just be honest. Oh no, he has COVID. Oh well. Yeah. Now we off of it. Yeah. So yeah, so that's what pretty much got me there, was having the girlfriend and then her having all the
and that's
connections.
Coach Belina, right?
Yep. And then so then from there it's just been locked in with it.
Have you ever been to his house?
Yeah.
So right on like Tobacco River over there.
Yeah.
My dad lives literally, like if you're on the river.
Yeah. And
you look across to the right, there's like 2 huge green seawalls. Mm-hmm. House on the left.
Okay.
So like there were some games where we would like after, like I don't know.
Where'd you play it again?
Beaverton.
Okay.
Beaverton. Yep.
Okay.
So like, there was a couple games where it was like I'd always be gone because I'm not like after a high school football game, I'm not going to hang out with a bunch of like old coaches.
Correct.
Like all the time.
Yeah.
So like they would all go see Coach Belina and they'd all go hang out with him and stuff, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, how like, and then my dad like literally pointed out one day we went, he's like, yeah, he lives right there, and I'm like, oh, like that's crazy.
See, but that's one thing like about me is that I'm so competitive that like after games they'll be like, hey, let's go get drinks with like so and so. I'm like, no. Yeah. We just lost or we just won. But we finna go hang out with them like that. But that's just me though. Like I'm very much like,
our coaches are middle of the road on that because they do all their. Our head coach will stay up and do stuff, but like they go to another coach's house and they have like a potluck thing where all the wives make stuff. Yeah. And then they go to the coach that has the best Wi-Fi. So then they download all the huddle. Yeah. So then they can do it in the morning. Yeah. Yeah.
No, which that's fine. But I'm saying, but like in terms of like we'll hang out with like coaches that we just played against. Yeah. That's what I can't do. No. I can't do that. Or like pregame.
That's the small town culture.
I know. But me, I'm just like, nah, bro. Or like pregame, the coaches meet me halfway. They laugh and dap them up. I can't even do that. No? No, I can't. Even if so there's been a few guys that I've actually known from college. So last year, the year before that, Farwell all of a sudden just lost their team. They went like 7-man football, something weird or whatever. Yep. So we had to replace him with Reese. It was Reese. One of my former teammates at Wayne State coaches at Reese. I didn't think he coached. Yeah. So we get there and I'm like, dang, this is kind of a small school, whatever. And he comes up, tries to dap me up. I'm like, we good, bro? But like right now, I'm like it was like no hard feelings, but I'm just like, I'm
worried about this right now.
I don't even want to see it because like, and then some of the kids got friends. Obviously, go to Claire, small area. I'm like, listen, guys, I don't see the fun. Even with my boys, when I'm playing pickup basketball, if I'm not on your team, I'm going at you. And that's just me because it's like, I guess as a guy, I'm like, who wants to, like, I don't know.
If you're going to compete.
If I'm going to compete. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And like when the season's done, y'all want to shoot the shit, go for it.
Then you're cool, yeah.
But like when we end season, and that means from May until the end, whether like
we're out of season. Even if we're not playing you in playoffs.
Correct. Yeah. 7-on-7, I'm still like, nah, we need to be a little more competitive because it starts then. And like for high school kids, like very few know how to hit that switch. Yeah. It's like some kids got it on all the time. Some kids put it on sometimes. Some kids no.
But put it on like during plays.
Yes, but very few are like, are we cool? Bet. Now we're finna go in and lock in. Yeah. You won't find that, at least from what I've seen in this area.
I think it's more so age now. I think social media. It's so hard not to be friends with the town over. Mm-hmm. It's because it's so easy.
It's right there. Y'all friends automatically.
But now, like back when we played, I had the slide text.
Yes.
Phone. I wasn't getting your number.
Yes,
after
that's true.
A game.
That's true.
So like you don't have any idea who these people are. And then you're like, okay, I don't care. And then they just hit you, and it's like, okay, well, now I'm gonna.
Yes, now I'm mad at you.
Now I just don't like you.
Yeah, that's how it was. Where I'm from was that like so technically I went to Whitehall. So Montague is literally separated by a bridge. So we're like very much like a Beaverton and Meridian. Yeah. Except like I could walk to Montague if I wanted to, and we shared a common McDonald's right by the bridge. And like after games, you go there, right? And it's like even if we didn't play each other that week,
you're like, oh shit.
We in the parking lot, like it's such crazy because like Montague's completely just hick. Don't know, but like they will have these sporadic like
kind of good seasons.
No, they're always good for the most part, but like they'll have these like all of a sudden these stud athletes, but usually they're just these 6'4", 6'5", 300-some pound, just big dudes.
Yeah.
Then we got us, Whitehall, where it's like we're just athletic. We got big guys, but we just really just athletic. Yeah. So it's like you see us on the parking lot. You have a kid with a cowboy hat on, a big truck, telling him, you know, and then you got a guy on our side driving a BMW and talking shit. And it's just like, it's just the most it's so wild. And like even to this day, I was at a bar in Muskegon like 2 weeks ago for my friend's bachelor party, and one of the kids were in there from Montague. I look at him and he looks at me and he's like, he looks the exact same. And I'm just looking at him. I'm like, do you remember me? He's like, bro, I was thinking the same thing. And it was just wild because like now we can actually like shoot the shit. Yeah. But in high school, dude, I couldn't stand him. That's dirty crazy. Player, yeah, dude. It's just so.
What's funny is my dad is from Montague.
Really?
He's from, I think it was Wisconsin first. Mm-hmm. Moved to Montague. Yeah. Moved to Beaverton.
Okay.
But he was in Montague until like 6th or 7th grade.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's crazy.
No, man, it's a small world, but like that's just the culture nowadays. It's like I said, it's very hard to have kids stay competitive because like immediately after a game is done, they can go see people. Go see people or like
I remember
shoot the shit with them.
I remember like that was honestly one of the things I wish I did more of in high school is after the game be like, hey dude, like you were the one player that was actually like pretty good on their team. Just like be like, hey, hi, like whatever, and like see like go on the bus. Like that was just enough. Like there was one DB that I played against and it was the best game I ever had. I had like 300 passing yards. There was the one DB on their entire team where I was like, I was kind of worried throwing your way. Like I've never been worried about throwing a slant and worried about the corner.
Yeah.
I worry about the linebacker sitting and picking it off. Yeah. I don't worry about the corner.
Yeah.
This is Beaverton. Your corners are not gonna break that up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like boom, and I was like, you were the one. I was like, you were kind of close to
right.
Like,
yeah.
And I just wanted to let him know that because I was like, I throw. That's like week 7. Like I've thrown against a decent amount of people, and you're like the first one that has done that.
That puts him, yeah.
And like, not that I'd ever talk to that kid again, or I have. I haven't. But at least then I could be like, oh, there was one guy that like told me that I was good once. And I was like, that shit's like nice when people would come up to you after a game.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of fucked us up. And I was like, yes, dude, I did fuck you up.
Yeah,
like,
no,
you know
yeah.
What I mean?
It definitely sets that tone, you know. And for me, I was very much the kid in high school that I'm a huge shit talker. But like after the game, I'm just kind of like
very chill. Yeah.
I really and for me playing running back especially, it's like I was very violent when I ran. In defense, I was kind of like, I don't really care about that much, but like I could be violent if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And so after the game, you know, you have coaches say, I have a bunch of coaches say, hey, listen, if you ever want to transfer over to our school, you know, but it was like a lot of times it was the players message me on, because back then it was like Facebook.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, great game. I'm like, and me, I'm like, why you messaging me good game? I just went for 250 over. Yeah. Like, stop, you know? Yeah. But, like, not in a Ruben. I'm just like, but I would say, okay, you know, thank me. I appreciate it. I really didn't start understanding that, like, mutual respect until I got to college and played, where it's like, some of these guys went to the NFL.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you get recognized by guys like that, whether it's like, hey, bro, you should have played more, or hey, bro, like, you know, whatever, or hey, man, I seen you on Instagram doing stuff. Like, why didn't you play this game?
Yeah.
When you start hearing that, you're like, okay.
It makes me feel,
so then I would return the favor back. Hey, bro, great game today.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't play a snap in a college game. Hey, bro.
That was good.
Good game
like,
today. I admired it. I thought
it was good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was like you said, like, I wish I would have appreciated it earlier on, but like, I definitely got appreciation for it when I got to college.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I mean, some of these guys went to the NFL. Some of these guys are my teammates. So in practice, I'm seeing it every day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So talk about culture shock. You coming obviously here. So my best game, I used to play semi-pro with Tri-City Stampede over in Saginaw. If you ever heard of them.
Is the coach Jerry?
Yeah.
Jerry Orr? Okay, yeah.
So, best game I ever played against Muskegon. So I go to Muskegon and...
Mustangs.
Yeah. So I got the COVID year. We had the COVID year, and that was the year that I was like... this is when I grew my hair out. Me and my buddy grew our hair out just to go play football, so we like look cool and shit. Yeah. And then we play, and then COVID. Yeah. So then I grew my hair out even longer.
Right.
I also got another year of lifting in. Yeah. So I was 200.
Yeah.
I was like feeling pretty fucking good about myself. So then we go. I get all my shit on. I was the first player out there stretching, and I walked past their locker room, and I had my hair down and shit, and one of the players is like, sunshine.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then I look over and they're like, let me guess. And I was like what? Yeah. And they're like, you're the fucking quarterback. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I am. Yeah. Yep. And then they're like, okay, well, we'll see you out there. I was like, yeah, we'll see you out there. Yeah. And then the whole game, I would best game running I've ever had. Mm-hmm. And like, if you would have saw me in high school, I was prepubescent. Mm-hmm. Like all of 5'5". Yeah. My senior year, 5'5", 5'6".
What?
5'5", dude. I'll show you a picture.
That's crazy. So, I would not have even guessed that.
Bro, I didn't hit puberty till I was like 21.
That's wild.
In high school, I had 28 rushing attempts, mm-hmm. Including sacks, and I had 29 yards rushing. I legitimately couldn't run for my life because I had no muscle mass whatsoever.
Wow.
So literally my dad was our football coach. My dad started the Beaverton 7th and 8th grade when I literally the year I was born. Yeah. So ever since then, I was always around football. Mm-hmm. And I was just really smart and I could throw and I couldn't see half the time where I was throwing. Yeah. But I got to the point where I was like, okay, I see the outside linebacker. I'm throwing there. Yeah. And someone's gonna better fucking be there.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
and that's how it has to that's just how it has to work. And our other quarterback could see everything, mm-hmm. but he always got scared, mm-hmm. and he would just run because he could run. Yeah. And then I was like, dude, you just gotta let it rip.
Yeah.
And I went, and that was our first winning season in Beaverton. Mm-hmm. That's when that's when Sizer came. Mm-hmm. That's when we started getting good. Yeah. So, our first winning season in 14 years was arguably on the fact that I had 1,000 yards passing. Yeah. Because we would still rotate between me and the other quarterback, and mm-hmm. he would just run the veer. Yeah. And then, but okay, you play against Harrison, they mm-hmm. shut you down for nothing. Yeah. Okay, Nate, you're going to go in and throw 30 times.
Throw the ball.
And it's okay, that's freaking fun. But look at this. You'll know, okay, senior year, okay, mm-hmm. number 20 next to me is 5'8".
Okay. That is not you.
5'8".
Wow.
So, what else we got here?
No way.
And blurry as shit, but...
But no, yeah.
Yeah. Those two kids next to me are all of 5'8", 5'9".
But that's your senior year.
That was my senior year. So my senior year, I was that big, and then
and played.
I started at quarterback.
Wow.
And that's what I'm saying. If I would have went anywhere else, not small town, I don't play football.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
You don't play football. At all. Right. And yeah, no, it was nuts. I literally
that's wild though.
I legitimately had 6'2" tackles mm-hmm. that I would literally just do this or this.
Move to the side. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was this is back. I don't know how much how far back on you looked back on Meridian's play people, but the Petrie twins.
Yep. Yep.
So I played against them.
Okay.
So they were juniors when I was a senior.
Okay.
And their senior year, they went undefeated and they murdered literally the entire conference.
Yes, I heard. That's what I heard.
So junior year, arguably still pretty good. We're 5-3. Last game of the season, mm-hmm. we win. We go to the playoffs for the first time since 2000. I go, and this is a horrible story to tell because it doesn't end well for me. We go, and it's just back and forth. We score, they score, we score, they score, whatever. We're up by a touch. We're up by 3 or 4. I don't know how it ended up. 2 minutes, or no, 3, just around 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Petrie, quarterback. Yeah. Right around the end, fucking looks like he's walking. Yeah. Goes into the end zone. Yeah. Puts him up. 2 minute. It's legitimate 2 minute drill.
My hands get sweaty just thinking about it. Yeah.
They go in and just chuck it.
Yeah.
First 3, just slant, fucking out of, or a hitch out of bounds, fucking out of bounds. Just looks good.
Yeah,
looks good. And I go, then immediately, I throw to this kid who has the other Petrie guarding him.
Okay.
So already, not the greatest decision, but he's got height. He doesn't have hands, but he can go up and above, and I take a shot for the end zone, and we're about 30, 40 yards out. So I'm you got to take a shot.
Right.
We don't have time. We just got to try it. So take a shot. Doesn't go. I don't know what that did, but I was just like, I just apparently couldn't throw after that. So we had another incomplete, and then I go, and there's this one, and this is all about preparation too. If any high schoolers listen to this, and this is like this is the crap you like remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy Ryan Duvall, he's my wide receiver. We would, prior to season, we would always practice back shoulder.
Yeah,
like go back shoulder goes, because you got people that man up and they just fucking stare at you like Meridian.
Yeah.
And if you throw it right to them, they can just go like this and be good.
Yep.
You know, 4th and 10. I'm like, I don't give a shit about it because we just went for a deep and we had another kind of deep one.
Yeah.
So they think we're just going for it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't like we still got time. We just need the first down. I'm like back shoulder. We'll get it. Whatever. We do it perfect. I throw it literally into his feet, like just horrible.
Right.
Like there's no chance he has at this ball, and I'm like, and I'm a coach's kid, so like I don't like do the extra shit. Like I don't like mess around and like I walk off. I do all the respectable shit.
Yeah.
I had my helmet. Like I could take my helmet. You know, you can take your helmet off without your chin strap coming off.
Right.
So I had that fucker like halfway off my head, and I was ready to just smash it. And I've never done that before in my life, but it's like like that's game.
Yeah.
That's game. And I'm sitting there, and I literally like I'm looking at the sideline, and I'm like, oh, and I didn't do it, but still, it's just like that was the one time.
That's what it is, man.
That's what it is, and it's just, it was fucking nuts. I couldn't believe it.
My junior year of high school, we played against Montague. It was we were in the playoff hunt. This was supposed to be like our dream team here. So it was me, my cousins. It was the perfect storm.
Yeah, you always have those years.
Oh my goodness, bro! And my cousins were like a year ahead of me, and so this was the year, bro.
Yeah,
we're all in varsity. We're ready to go. Our first year running like some type of like option crap. And we go up against Montague, and they had Brandon Moore, a bunch of all these big name guys. So it's just a battle. Mm-hmm. So my cousins they started over me, which I'm fine with. I play defense a little bit, whatever. This is the game, and we get to like the second half. My cousin's getting stopped. He's smaller, so he told the coach, put Dontae in.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, this is a rivalry. I don't know if I want to be. Just go in.
But that's when you know that.
I got the ball 10 times on one drive, let us down, we scored. The score at the time was 9-0. We scored, so 6-9.
Yep.
So we're going to the fourth quarter. I'm like, all right, I got my drive in, I'm good to go. And I'm huffing and puffing, bro.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to carrying the ball 10 times straight. Because we couldn't throw, it was rainy, it was muddy, and their defense was just stacked. But for whatever reason, I could get my yards out. There's actually a picture I have on my phone / in the newspaper of me getting hit, and it's just a sick picture. I kept it on as a profile forever, right? Yeah. And so it's like comes down to like the last drive, dude. So I'm like, Twan, like go in. No, man, you got it. This is my senior. This is my cousin who's a senior.
Yeah.
Like telling me, no, bro, go for it. I'm like, and we fought our whole life. We've always beefed and had like a rivalry, but like he told me to go.
It's about winning.
Bro, my heart. I said, all right, let's go. So we're driving. We get down to the goal line, and the first snap goes over our quarterback's head, and he's 6'2". Goes over his head. Boom, nerves. Gets the ball. He's able to advance it back to within reason. All right, second down. I get the ball, drive us down. We're like the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
It's a minute and 30-something seconds left. We started taking our time now. We about to win the game. Yeah. It's 6-9, and we score here. We're going up. It's over, bro. Yeah. We got this in the bag. We run a play, fumble the ball again. But it was just a simple fumble on the ground, pick it up, whatever. So we're set the 2-yard line. Now it's like, okay, it's fourth down, about 45 seconds left, and the newspaper guys, you can see them lying around the end zone. Because either they're going to stop us, it's going to be a huge thing, or I'm going to score, and it's going to be like, I'm on the front page. We call timeout, last one. We're going up the middle. Dontae just fall forward at the very least. I got you, coach. I can feel it right now. It's just wow. So get the ball. Well, first and foremost, juggle the snap. So I hesitate, and then I go again. They give me the ball, and as I'm going, I see the opening. It's 2 yards. I see the opening. Lose my footing. put my hand down. So now I'm about to reach out. As I'm reaching, I get smashed. Like, I'm talking about, like, 2 guys just pinned me up.
Yeah.
Didn't get in. And when I tell you I didn't even want to get, like, my face mask is in the dirt right now.
You don't even want to pick it up.
I don't even want to look up because I can just hear, I can feel guys pushing off me, like, and fuck them, And I can hear our guys, I can hear the seniors crying immediately, just immediate tears. Because at that time, we were going to be undefeated, we thought. So we were like 3-0, dropped 2 in a row, like on some dumb stuff. So we were like 3-2. Losing to Montague, we're like, dude, we're 3-3 now.
Yeah. Now you gotta win. We
gotta win out, and our last game is one of the toughest teams in the conference. Like, we beat Montague, we would have for sure made playoffs, and probably would have rolled on that. We lose to them, and I finished like 4-5. But it was just like that moment to this day, because like then I'll like if you Google my name, like you'll see like that article pops up like top 5. Because it was such a pivotal thing. Because it was like,
it's the one
dude.
You
oh my gosh, bro! And it's just wild. And like, and it says it like in the newspaper, like Burks will stop at the 2, and it's like pretty much just like in a way kind of like dogs me like he could have got. I'm like, man, but no, dude. It was that to this day out of any of the moments, college, high school, alike, it's just like that moment. Like that could have changed the trajectory of so many things. Because like. Had we won that game, probably would have went to playoffs. Probably would have went pretty far in playoffs. Would have given a bunch of guys opportunities to go play in college, and because you get more film,
you get more, and you also get more respect as a team.
Yes,
they actually look at your team.
Yes, and that next year, guys would have probably came out and played, but then instead, going 4-5, having a team that was kind of like fell apart. We had like smallest team White Hawk probably has ever had. Like 24 guys come out the next year. Damn. So that's my senior year.
And that's
So you like so like we win one game that year. I luckily get invited to the All-Star game because if I didn't I wouldn't probably have gotten it. Because leading up to my senior year, I was like there was like Illinois State, Appalachian State, like D1 schools. No, I'm gonna go D1 for sure. Senior year comes along, you win one game. I'm getting banged up because I'm bigger than some of my linemen.
Yeah.
And we implement a new offense. I have 4 different head coaches in 4 years in high school.
That sucks.
So my 4th year, it's veer now. Everyone wants to run the veer. So we come up to Montrose and run the veer camp. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude, we don't have the skill set for this. We have a bunch of pudgies and like a few seniors that are decent. And win the one game. and luckily I got a chance to go, All-Star game and set some offers off of that. But other than that, dude, it was like that moment my junior year. It's like that what's it called, the butterfly effect or something.
Yeah.
That one moment just changes. Yeah. The whole thing. So
no, I mean, you make that one first down, or I make that one first down, and then that was the first playoff run Davidson would have ever had.
Yeah.
Not, I guarantee you, after the couple teams after that started making playoffs, dude, we would draw the worst possible scenario every time. It's like we get the previous year's state champ.
Yep.
Like the second game, like first game, and it's just like, bro.
Yeah.
What?
That's how we felt this year. I mean, us making playoffs for the first time in a while. Well, going from 2-7 first year I was there to going 6-3, and then we're feeling good, dude.
Yeah.
We're
feeling
dude. I'm talking about the swagger was unmatched this year, and I think a lot of it came from the fact of like I tried my best to give these kids the confidence that they didn't have when I first got there. Like a lot of these kids had never even worn a visor before. Yeah. And it's crazy what the small things we do. Like I told our receiver and our quarterback, hey, grab up, like get a visor. Well, coach won't let. I said just get a visor and I'm gonna back you up.
Yeah.
So they get one. When I tell you they swag went to a different level. They thought they were just so sweet.
Yeah.
And you just watch how they played, bro, and like how they carried themselves. And to go 6-3, I mean, it felt like we were. If you came to our practice, you thought we were undefeated.
Because they were just.
The swagger was different. That first year though, it was like pulling teeth sometimes to get the kids to go. But like that's the one thing I wanted to pride myself in was like obviously being like the youngest coach is to like allow these kids to feel like this isn't like boot camp. Like we ain't here to like have fun. But we also here to compete and have confidence. Like. There's no one in this conference that's like a D1 athlete. Don't be afraid. And even if they were, that should be more of a pride thing for you. Like, hey, I'm going to go beat this guy. This D1 athlete. Like, So us going 6-3, and then drawing Millington, I think it was, or something like that.
Millington's
never heard of him in my entire life. So I'm like, okay, cool. We go to the school. I'm like, what is this place?
Yeah.
And we could have, and honestly, in my opinion, we could have won that game. And I feel like going into any game we could have won, even though we lost to Gladwin. Gladwin was a dogs this year.
Dude. Yeah.
I still say this: we could have beat Gladwin if we would have had our marbles together and coaches would have clicked, players would have clicked, God would have clicked, whatever it was, we would have beat Gladwin. Yeah. So we go into that Millington game, and our starting quarterback, who's a stud, he's injured, so we have to throw him at like receiver because he can't throw and he doesn't want to get hit and different stuff like that. And it's fine. He's an athlete. He can do
Still
it.
Do
One of the fastest kids in the state, so he can do it.
Yeah.
And he's tough, and but I think just a lot of the combination of like us being like such a new situation. Yeah. I think the oh shoot, we in the playoffs all of a sudden. Yeah. And I think even like some of the coaches had stuff going on, so like I think our minds, some people's minds, players, coaches, fans, whatever you want to say, were elsewhere than the game. Yeah. Because we weren't supposed to be there. If the kids, I think, started to believe
that they were supposed
to be there.
Yeah. That was the honestly probably the problem with our first two playoff runs, because this is back when we had the Cassidy brothers who were they won the wrestling state championship back to back. Yeah. So like the younger one won the 170, and then the next kid won the 200. So like arguably the two hardest weight classes, we had the two best wrestlers. Yeah. And they were both our running backs, and the younger brother was the faster one, but we'd play the other brother first, and he would just bulldoze people because he was like 210.
Yeah, hard nose.
And then we had a third one coming back from that fourth quarter. We had a whole fresh, the best running back to come back on. Yeah. We played against St. Louis, and we came out in a completely different, like in an empty set, but trying to like run all those kids at the same time out of an empty. And, like, it kind of worked, but, like, it threw something off, and the kids were just not there. Yeah. And we lost. Yeah. And it's like, that was the,
St. Louis, wow.
Bro. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It was the biggest upset in all of Michigan. Yeah. Points-wise. Yeah. Because we were 8-1, or, like, 9, like, we might have been undefeated. Yeah. And they were a 5-14 team. Yeah. It was nuts. It was, like, a complete... Like, we just didn't know what to do.
But that's what I mean. It's like those St. Louis kids had to have some type of belief that, like, they belong.
Exactly. Like, it's not like they haven't played Beaverton before.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you have never played Meridian has never played Millington unless they play him in the playoffs. Yep. But, like, in Millington also, back in the old Ithaca streak, I went to the Ithaca Millington game back when it was, like, the Hesbrook and then the Travis Smith of Ithaca. And Millington had two running backs that F them up. Yeah. Yeah. And, like, they were, I mean, it was a very even game for them going and winning the state championship and then having it be a district game.
Yeah. Well, the team this year, I mean, on film, so watching them on film, you're like, nothing special. They had 2 or 3 decent players, but nothing special. It's not like they're going to make a state title run. They're a team that we should play week 1 or week 1 of playoffs, right? Like they're not nothing crazy. They're not like some defending state champs or whatever. And then you get there, and I felt, but like that's also my perspective. I'm like, oh, these kids ain't jack. Like we should really put our hands on them.
You've seen a lot more kids.
Correct. So I'm like, but then I could just feel the energy when I'm in the locker room. I had kids tell me, Coach, I'm nervous. I'm like, shouldn't you be nervous for every game? Well, no, I'm really nervous for this game. I'm like, why? Well, because it's playoffs. And I said, well, here's the thing, though. Win, lose, or draw, you got to suit up. Yeah. You got to suit up. Yeah. So the nerves are understandable, but are these nerves because you don't feel like you're prepared, or because, you know what I'm saying, are you scared?
Are you scared, or are you just like,
I'm
like
just
ready?
No, I'm just, no, I'm not. I'm like, oh, he's scared. Yeah, he's scared, you know. And he was a junior, and he had some varsity experience, and he's going to be a great player this year. But I think that, like I said, we didn't really talk playoffs until we were like damn near 6-3 playoffs.
Yeah, you have to be 6. Yeah. Before you talk about it.
So I was talking about playoffs 2 years ago when we was 2-7 in the summer when I first got there. When I first got there, my role, I wanted to just be only weightlifting. And so I didn't care about,
Yeah.
And so in the weight room, I'm like, yeah, we got to think now we can be undefeated. Because here's my thing. You think that you can be undefeated, that puts you at the highest tier. Anything underneath that is pretty damn good. If I can shoot undefeated and finish 6-3, still a good season. But if I say let's just suit up
6-3, and then you have a bad thing, then you're 5.
Yes, 5-4. Yeah, so I'm like, let's and so some of the kids I think bought in, but like year post COVID, small team, some kids hadn't played since 8th grade because like COVID, whatever. So I'm like, okay, some of these kids, I started to feel like, hey, maybe we can't win every game, but like I'm not gonna show that though. We gonna try to win every game.
Yeah.
We go in there and we upset Lake City. Lake City there to beat us that last game of the season. My first year there would have went to playoffs. The kids rallied up. We beat Lake City, knocked them out of playoffs. It was the craziest game ever.
Yeah.
Right? And so then we come into this year. We have so many close games. Our foreign kicker kicks a field goal to beat Beaverton.
Yeah.
In overtime.
Yeah.
At Meridian. Like, it was wild, bro. Like, these are things that, like, I try to kind of manifest / put into their minds
like,
before the season started. This can happen.
You gotta do it.
Because our kicker, when he first got there from Italy, not a very good kicker. He comes up kicking in, like, Jordans. Like, and we're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
But I'm telling him every game, every practice, hey, Mary, you're going to get better. He ends up being, like, second team all conference.
Yeah.
And, like, wants to play in college now.
Yeah.
And so it's like planting the seeds as a coach and as coaches helps these kids believe.
Do you have one, is that one specific kid where you're like, okay, like, you made a big difference on the fact of, like, his trajectory?
Yeah.
Have you had,
so
have you had another kid?
I've had, him, I think, it was a lot of things. I think he just gained more confidence in, like, he had never played American football.
But he probably played soccer.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that him being integrated into the culture gave him that confidence. Him realizing, like, they don't expect a lot of me besides the kick. So, like, okay, I can just give my best.
Get hit?
Yeah, I'm not going to get hit. I'm not throwing the ball.
You're not doing nothing. Just learn how to kick.
The only high pressure one was that Beaverton game. That Beaverton game gave him so much confidence that his onside kicks got better. Like, this is as a consequence. And so it's like, there were a lot of kids that first year that I wish I would have had for 2 years, which I didn't have the privilege to because they graduated.
Yep.
That I think helped. And not because I think it helped, but because they messaged me
Yeah,
afterwards.
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah,
like someone had to tell you after the fact.
So,
like, you helped me do this.
Yes, or parents coming up to me after the games or messaging me through Facebook. Hey, my son didn't have any confidence going into this year. Thank you. You helped him. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, bro. Like, I feel like I didn't do much besides be a bigger brother. Because I don't see myself as like some coaches are old enough to be their dad.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to be a big brother.
Yeah.
So like that's something that I didn't have growing up, or at least a positive figure in that sense. I'm like, I'm gonna try to do that for these kids because they don't have that.
Yeah.
And they don't have someone that they can keep it real with. Some kids will lie through their teeth to the head coach. Oh, yes. Yeah. But then they talk to me, they give me the full truth. All right, now we can work through it.
We can actually figure something out.
So I think for me, the trajectory thing comes with like, I think I helped, hopefully I helped based off what they told me, a lot of these kids, and not even just in a football sense, but like in a life sense.
Yeah. And
that's the biggest goal.
Well,
like, dude, there was kids that, I had one kid tell me, man, I didn't even want to be alive. Like, football was just kind of one of these things where I just did it, but like, you helped me.
Yeah.
Man, that changed your life when you hear that.
Yeah.
Because you like, I thought we just all having fun, just kind of kicking.
You don't know it.
You don't realize it, but they be going through stuff at home. So it's like, to help them with that is huge, bro. That's huge.
I had one kid where his dad came in to Dunham's when I worked there and I was a cashier. Mm-hmm. And that's when I was running the weight rooms and stuff. And I was like, hey, like, and it was a basketball player. Mm-hmm. And in Beaverton, if you're a basketball player, you don't probably know this, but if you're a basketball player, you don't play football until just recently.
Yep.
Because of
they
situation.
They were good, I heard.
Oh, yeah. Well, my 2015, we were the undefeated, and we went to our regional finals and we lost, but still, like, undefeated. Mm-hmm. We literally cleaned the Jack Pine out. Like, we had one game that was close. The rest were game over.
Yeah.
And then Beaverton won conference for 4 years and district for 4 years in a row. But back to football. Roy, being for basketball, being placed right after football, if you got hurt and you didn't play, there's conflict of interest there.
Right.
And like everyone, like there's certain kids, and then no one was willing to take that risk because they were arguably very good at basketball. Yeah. And they knew that they were going to be good, so they wanted to play, which is like totally fair. But there's also Beaverton, you're not going pro. You're sending very few kids
to college. Yeah.
Let's let the kids play sports, and we get a couple kids my sophomore year start coming out to football, and they're like arguably the best players on the team. Like we all fucking knew you would be, but like now you're actually doing it and proving it.
Yeah.
So like then all these kids start coming. So my second year of coaching, best basketball player on the team. Second best, first best. The first best, he moved into Beaverton from Bullet Creek. He plays all three sports, guaranteed. His baseball is his favorite sport. So basketball and football are just kind of side things. So he's not as committed.
Was he the quarterback?
Yeah, Trent.
Solid player, I think. Yeah, solid player.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he came in and he's like, I'm playing every sport. I'm playing and I'm gonna kill you in every sport. And this is how it's gonna go. So then it kind of went to like all these other kids are like, I can play all three sports and still be all like good.
Yeah.
So I got this kid, his dad came, and I was like, hey, your kid's great at basketball, but he's 6'5", 6'4", and skinny as shit. So like, it'd probably be better if he was stronger for basketball, right? He's like, yeah, I think so. And I was like, so he should just come to weight room. And I mean, it's not football weight room, it's just the football kids that go to weight room.
Yep.
And then he's like, but then I was like, well, there's also like a little football, like 7-on-7 that they play like the last half hour.
Yeah.
And like, he can play in that if he wants.
Yeah.
And then he played in it once with the other quarterback, and it was immediate
chemistry.
Just toss it up and I'll get it.
Yeah.
The kid goes on, plays 2 years. His senior year, he was the best wide receiver on the team. He had like 4 or 5 touchdowns, all just deep. And there was one play where he did the fucking Conor McGregor walk after he made it.
Yeah.
He
had the confidence.
He figured out, he realized, he's like, I'm the shit at this. Like, I'm good. And then after we lost to New Lothrop, I don't know about you, but I'm a crier.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm a crier.
I am too, man. I can't be. Yeah.
I lose it.
Yeah.
So one kid got me, and all he did at the end of the game, literally on the field, he came up to me and he just gave me a hug. He's like, "Thank you so much for always talking to me and all that." And I just fucking lost it.
Yeah.
So then we get in the locker room. We're all I'm literally just holding back tears the whole time. Coach Sizer's talking, doing his last little speech. Kid comes up to me, also bawling. He's like, I just want to let you know you're the only reason that I'm actually still here playing football. And I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, and so, add it,
and then you sit there and you just okay, see ya. I'm gonna go cry in the corner for 5 minutes until I'm done with this.
Yes.
And it's just dude, you lose it.
Yeah.
You absolutely lose it.
I didn't think that. I knew for myself as a player, I was very emotional like that. I didn't think I would be as a coach. I thought I'd be more stone cold. And
you like to hope.
And bro, and like I said, losing that playoff game this year, it hit me. Because you can just see that these kids, because this is the group that I've been with the longest, 2 years, and to see what they invest, see how far they came. I knew there was one kid who had quit. Well, he had anxiety junior year, but was a solid player. Came back senior year, started off hot, anxiety hit him again, quit. Saw us play against Bullet Creek and was like, I gotta come back for my brothers. Came back, was a solid piece for us, and to watch him be done now.
Yeah.
You just, and then I also put myself in their shoes. I've been the senior that's lost. Your last game is a loss.
Yeah.
I've also been on teams where the last game for the guys as a senior was a state championship.
Yeah.
Totally different perspective going into that next step of their life, and
closure.
Yeah, not to say that the kids that I played with in college that came off the kids from De La Salle that had 2 rings back to back or something like that. They come into camp thinking that they guys get the earth, but they get humbled really quickly. The kids like me who went 1-8, or the kids that went 3-6 or whatever it was, or 5-4 or 6-3, made playoffs but then lost. They come in with more of a hungry, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And I've seen it to be the complete reverse. The kids that lose that last game as a player, let it trickle down to basketball. They don't want to do basketball. They don't want to do baseball. It's not because they don't want to. It's just they don't have the interest.
Yeah.
And then they get into life, and then they're like, I don't really care. I don't know I'm doing anything at all.
Yeah.
And I'm just so it's just seeing the kids' emotion. I'm okay, I wonder who's going to turn this into a positive thing. Who's going to dwell on this rest of their life? Yeah. And not even that football part of it, but just the loss. I lost. I'm a loser. Yeah. So I'm gonna carry that loser mentality. It's just I'm gonna be a loser now. That's what just happens. Whereas if they don't win a championship, that gives kids confidence. That gives anyone confidence.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to college and I could win a college championship.
Yeah, or I'm gonna go to the next job venture and be a great employee.
Yeah.
Some people I know will lose in a sport or lose something in life. Their car gets repossessed, wherever it was, and all of a sudden they just stay a loser. Yeah. And that's that's where I was like, got me the most because I've seen it go either way.
Yeah.
So.
And then you see it and you're just like, I can't do that.
Yes.
You're like, you can't do that. At least like just stay stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part. Like, I'll tell you what, I am not like an anxious or like depressive person. But the only time I am is when I go throughout the day and I'm like, I could have done more.
Yes.
And I'm just like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then you don't, like, then it's hard to sleep because you're like, I should probably do something before I go to sleep instead of just, go to sleep and, like, you don't want to do that.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. That's my biggest source.
Yeah. No, I'm very anxious as it is. And not like in a sense of like I'm scared of something, but like you said, I'm always like, okay, what can be done next?
Yeah.
Like, what can I do next? What should I be doing? What could I have done?
Yeah.
And, for me, it's like the anxiety and the depression will go hand in hand. So on a day where like you said, I'm like, I could have did more. I should have did more. What could I have done better? What could I have done differently? The depression will hit. It's not like some crazy shit where I'm like, but it's like, damn, bro, I missed. Because like the thing is, like we said in the very beginning, time and money are big things in life right now.
Yeah.
So if a day goes by, I'm like, dude, I could have done more.
Or I could have made money.
Oh, dog. It hit you like I just wasted a day because you don't know how many days you got.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a harsh reality / like people think I do things like that. You'd be thinking like I get it. The life expectancy is like 75, 80 years, right? Yeah. But I have 2 friends that died back to back. And we ain't even 30. We 26, 27.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I hear you. I get it. But that shouldn't mean that you just take every day. It's like, okay, I got an opportunity. Like, to just waste it.
Yeah.
You have an opportunity to make the best of it.
Yeah.
Even if you just get up off the couch and go for a walk. But, like, there's some days where I'm like, I know I could have programmed this, or I could have did this, I could have did that. And I just, for whatever reason, I'm like, I'm going to play the Xbox instead.
Yeah.
Which some days you need that.
Yeah.
But other days I'm like, oh.
But it's the instant you do it. And, like, some days you need it. Some days you're like, I know for a fact.
Yes.
I had better shit
like
to do.
2 hours later, I'm like, dog, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What about,
Like, I told myself I need to get this done today. And then I was like, Xbox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's, dude. And that's what it is like for me with personal training, honestly. Because, like, I've had a certification since my sophomore year of college.
Yep.
I got my degree the year after, 2021.
Okay.
So I'm 2 years out.
Yeah.
I worked at Dunham's, and once I graduated, I quit Dunham's, literally quit. I was like, I'm never coming back here.
Yeah.
And then I went on that trip in the van for like a month. Halfway on that trip, my boss calls me, and he's like, hey, dude, how's the trip, blah, 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 like, and I'm like, oh, yeah, like, like, we're just talking about it. And then the next day he calls me again because he was honestly just feeling me out. So then he calls me again the next day. He's like, I just want to let you know, I'm actually leaving. So if you come back and you are the assistant and you do that for a bit, you'll probably be the GM. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me think about it.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm like pretty interested because I have zero cash right now.
Right.
And that's a for sure salary gig that I already know. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I call him back the next day, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. He's like, yeah, I already fucking knew you were going to do it.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll see you when you get back.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, cool. So I go back. I do that for a year. Actually, I'm an assistant all the way up until February. Mm-hmm. So the 3 biggest months of the year, I am getting paid. They're not having to pay a GM for me running the business. And then I get promoted, and then I'm the GM until the following, it would be... till November. Mm-hmm. Actually, no, until that November. I was like, bro, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a 25-year-old, 24-year-old kid trying to manage other 24-year-old college kids.
Yeah, they ain't hitting right.
And, like, the inflow of stock, like, the way they ship there is, like, they give you what you sell, and, like, based on the year before. Based on the year before, we went nuts because of the whole COVID thing.
Right.
So now they're like, oh, you're going to sell that much again. No, you don't sell that much again.
Yeah.
But you get that much stuff.
Yep.
So then the store's full, and they're like, oh, why doesn't the store look like good? Well, because you sent us more crap than like fit it.
Yes, yeah.
So then, that just spiraled down. Other, like, assistant managers, and I'm sitting there, I was legitimately scared of my phone. Mm-hmm. Because it would ring all the fucking time. Mm-hmm. And I'm salary, so, like, if anything happens in that store, I'm the one that has to go back and fix it. And I live 20 minutes away, and I really don't feel like it.
Yeah.
And it's usually little things that people are like, bro, like, you can just figure this out.
Yeah.
So that legitimately, and it was crazy because I started podcasting during that, and I ended up talking to so many people about, like, mental health. One of my best friends, we talked about, like, his suicide story. I don't know if you know Logan Hesbrook.
Sounds so familiar.
Ithaca,
yeah, okay.
Central Football. He had a whole story.
Okay.
And then the B4, have you seen
Yes,
those
I've
shirts?
seen that. I've seen
Him.
that. Okay.
That's his, I believe it's his cousin or some relative of his, committed suicide. So then he's like, okay, we're going to really,
talk about that,
we're going to really dive into this. So I got his story, and then I told him I remember in that podcast, I was like, I'm not really, like, I don't really have any, like, I understand, I guess, what you guys are going through, but, like, I've never been that far into it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I've never had anything like that, like, arguably happen to me.
Yeah.
So, and then, like, and it's not even like people died in my life. It's like just work.
Right.
I was so, like, I go home, I look at my phone, and I'm like, I put it away, but I have to have it on. I have to have it on, so I know it's there. So then the rest of my day, I'm just like waiting. Yeah. And I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And then, like, personal training. Oh, I want to make side cash so then I don't have to do this job anymore. Right. Oh, but when I get home, I'm worried about getting a phone call. If I get a client and I get a phone call, I got to go do the phone call.
Yeah.
I can't do the client.
Yep.
Then I'm going to lose a client. And then I'm not going to be able to do... Like, all these things just prevent me from starting it. And then I'm like, okay, I'm done with this.
So, my first question is, where did you get your certification from?
NSCA.
Okay. So, I got certified personal training.
Yeah.
Okay. And I got certified, wow, it had been 10 years ago now. So, fresh out of high school, I kind of knew I wanted to go into, like, the fitness, I can say industry. So, very selfishly, I wanted to be the best trainer just so I can be the best athlete. I am so selfish with my money in terms of, like, I wear the same clothes from high school, basically. Like, if it still fits, I'm rocking it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, how can I? And I literally remember one night saying to myself, how can I make the most money without spending the most money, right? And this is a 17-year-old kid. Okay, so I know I want to play pro, okay? But, like, what can I do in college, but you have to go to college, that can prevent me from having to spend a lot of money? All right, I'm going to go be a trainer, because then I'm going to have to pay a trainer to train me. Like, because I didn't know how it worked.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna be my own trainer, save money, know what I'm doing, and be the healthiest, strongest player, fast player ever. Because, like, most guys I talk to that played in college,
they don't know.
Business degree, general studies, just economics. Yeah, right. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm about to go get a degree that's gonna help me be a better player and not have to pay someone else to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
So
sounds great.
Yeah, no, it sounds like the perfect plan, bulletproof, right?
Yeah.
So, but then I started thinking about it too. As I'm older now, even when I was younger, bro, I would wake kids up on a Saturday, whether it was during the school year, outside the school year, on a Saturday morning, knock on everyone's door in my neighborhood. Hey, let's go out and play football, right? But I tell them, before we play, we have to do a workout. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like 12, 11, 10. I would set up tires that I found in the woods and, like, have the kids flip them and then do 10 push-ups and run around the yard. This is our conditioning, I thought, prior to us playing just a front yard football game. Kids hated me. Parents hated me. They're sitting just smoking a cigarette, drinking coffee. I'm banging on the door. Hey, can Tommy come outside and play? Yeah. But I wanted us to be in shape. Don't know why, but I just want us to be in shape.
That's crazy.
Wild, bro. So then I get to college. Well, it was my senior year of high school. I'm like, all right, like, I was very smart. So I was far ahead. And I asked my school, hey, can I do my dual enrollment through the gym? Because I know my friend works there. Yeah, of course. So they literally started giving me credit from lunch to whenever to go be in the gym. So I'm in the gym, and now back then I'm very much like a sponge. So anything this guy told me, I thought was the bee's knees. So he's telling me, I train all my clients, love him to this day still, but he had no idea what he was doing.
Exactly.
Train all my clients with a 10x10, and they squat every day. I'm like, oh, taking notes. I'm doing all this perfect, you know. So then I finally go get my certification. Keep in mind, I got mine through NASM. So it was like one of the hardest tests they claim, blah, 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 blah. I said to myself, you know what? I'm smart. I don't need to read the book. So I read the first 2 chapters, said, yep, I'm good to go. I took the test, passed it. Don't know how, what, bro. I'm telling you the first test on the question, because it's like on a computer. I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about. But, like, I'm about to just wing it. Yeah. Pass the test. I'm a certified trainer at 18, don't know what the hell I'm doing. I think 10 by 10 is the bee's knees right now. So I get to college, I'm like, all right, well, it also works because like now I can make my own schedule because I can work at the rec center, schedule clients so I don't have practice or class. Right? This is bulletproof. This is amazing. I think I'm about to make millions right now. And then you find out very quickly that first and foremost, every client has individual needs.
Yeah.
Second of all, you find out too that no certification, and I have a shit ton now, CrossFit, personal training, CSC. Yeah. You don't learn the application part of it until you actually get in the field.
Do it, yeah.
So I can have all the certs in the world. I can do all the degrees, my degrees in it. But until you go out and actually have an 80-year-old with arthritis and scoliosis and everything, you will never know how to program right.
Yeah.
And so I got a very, 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 very rude awakening when I got to college, trained at the rec center. I'm thinking I'm going to get a bunch of in shape, athletes. Ready to go college athletes. I got the staff, the janitors, the community members. Like, I'm like, I have no idea how to train you because I thought 10 by 10 was in box jumps. Right? Yeah. Box jumps 10 by 10s. And
you got people that look at the box.
And like, I can't make it. I'm like, you can't make a 2 foot. I started guys jumping on just like the stair, like your porch stair. Yeah. Nope, not doing it, buddy. Now what would you do? You're 18. This guy is 36 and he's a teacher at the school. You get him hurt, you're screwed. So you're like, all right, bro. So I had to go back to the drawing board big time, and kind of just figure out my way too. But I thought the same thing. I'm like, man, how do you do this? Yeah.
I thought I got the certification, and I went and we just opened the Beaverton Activity Center.
Okay.
And they just put a new gym, and obviously they just got cheap labor out of me.
Yeah.
But I was the front desk attendant, and I was the personal trainer.
Oh, trust me, I know how that goes. Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I got like 3 or 4 clients. I got one kid who was just overweight, and he was like in school, like still in school. His mom was just like, I just want him to come here and like have fun. Me and that kid, we would work out for like 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and he would like go hard for like then, and then he'd be like, there's a basketball court over there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. He's like, I'll play a lot of basketball. That's exercise, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna make you run for a little bit, but then we can play. Yeah. He's like, okay. Yeah. So we would just do that after that, and then I had an older lady, and this is where it like completely took me out of training. I had her do, and this is me being dumb. I had her do 21s for bicep curls. Yeah. Bro, like why?
Mess around, call rabdo on her. Yeah.
Well, no, and then like I had her do I was like, I know this isn't like super like like great for you, but like we'll keep it at 10 pounds. She went home and like it wasn't even recent. It was like 4 or 5 hours later. She tore her bicep tendon.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here and she's like, well, I won't be. And I'm sitting here and I was scared as shitless. Yeah. Because I was like, we did bicep curls. I was like, is that my doing? And I was like, they're 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah. And I was actually on a podcast last year and they asked me, so they're the docs who lived and they kind of they had me on there talking about like adolescent training, right? So kids that are pretty much prepubescent. And even some kids that are beyond that. 'Cause obviously, I've worked with clients as young as 8 and then as old as 80, actually. And so, like how you mentioned, the kid had said, "Hey, let's go play basketball." One of the first things that I talked about, like on that podcast, and I still believe 100%. I obviously do substitute teaching, or I did, and I would be gym classes, elementary kids through high school. It's much more important for kids to have play before they have like quote unquote performance. Yeah. So even though for me and you, or for the typical personal trainer, it may not seem like it's athleticism or it's a training modality, playing basketball, playing dodgeball, playing pickleball is 100% beneficial for their development. Because think about it, you break down sport into different components. So for example, if a kid's playing basketball, he's getting agility, he's getting some upper body work, some lower body work, plyometrics, coordination, exactly. So these all are fundamental things that we typically train as individual aspects. Yeah. So I'll go to the gym, for example. I want to increase tendon stiffness, so I'm doing plyometrics. Okay, well, or if I don't have a kid doing box jumps and trying to have them be so focused because they're young, they don't have a good, I'm going to go play basketball. Yeah. Every rebound he does, it's a plyometric. Yeah.
And then you can just drill it.
Yes.
Into they don't even know.
Correct.
Yeah.
So then as they get older and have a better understanding, and their training age increases, so there's a difference between their chronological and then their training age. Mm-hmm. As a kid gets older, chronological age by default goes up. Yep. Training age also does, depending on how long you start them off with like play and then whatever. Once we get to like high school, junior high, we can say, okay, if you see that you like playing basketball, you want to be able to dunk. Okay, let's implement these box jumps now.
Yeah.
So now there's a purpose behind them doing it. They think it's just aimlessly jumping on a box when they're younger. Now when they're my age and your age, they understand why we're doing it. But you have to start the play first. Like dodgeball, dude, I used to get pissed when gym teachers say, "Oh, we're doing dodgeball." I'm like, bro, why? We're not doing anything. Yeah. Until I read and looked at different studies, and I'm like, okay, dodgeball is actually very good for kids. Yeah. You learn agility out the ass. You learn how to be mobile because you're ducking and dodging, and the reaction time. Yeah. You learn how to be reactive. A lot of times in sports, in any sport really, besides probably golf, having great reaction time is what sets you apart. Yeah. If you're a quarterback and you can quickly release the ball before that corner breaks, that's the difference between an 8-yard play and an 80-yard play. Yeah. Basketball, if I can react faster, that's the difference between me getting a rebound and getting boxed out. Like there's so many different, so just having that play aspect is huge, and people often overlook it because it's not organized, quote unquote, training.
But that's how you learn how to move.
Correct.
And and then I always hated it too, and I think it's mildly funny when it turns out the way it does, but like when you specialize in a sport, when you specialize a kid in a sport, and then by the time they get to college, they're already done with that sport. Yeah. They're just like,
burnt out.
I'm like, no, I'm chilling. Yeah. But like, you also realize that like sometimes those kids literally get into any other sport and they are just like deer on ice. And it's hilarious because it's like you're a freakish athlete in this one sport, but you can't do anything else. Like, do you not see how that would make you better at your other sport? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? There's just things you don't even know that you can do yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you were to put a kid in sports right now, in these sports we're supposed to prepare him for whatever he chose to play beyond his elementary days, what sports would you say would be the best ones to put a kid in right now?
And like
from 6 years old until like 12.
Basketball,
okay.
Soccer.
Why?
The whole body and running.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, soccer is just like you get to a certain point. If you don't play enough, like that footwork goes away. I played soccer until from when you started until like 6th grade when I started playing football because it conflicted. Yep. And I was like, I wasn't bad at soccer. Like I could move. But then I got like high school and you throw a soccer ball at my way and I'm like, I can't do this anymore whatsoever.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like you used to. Like it's not hard. You know it's not hard. But then it's just the coordination's not there. And then basketball, I played basketball once again since like 2nd grade. Yep. We had a kid. The kid's dad took us to hang time. He's like, we're playing leagues whenever it's available for those ages, and that's it. And like, it is almost comical seeing some grown men dribble a basketball.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like they just smack at it and then they do the chest back, and it's like, you've watched basketball your entire life. Yeah. You watch the NBA every day. Yeah. And you can't just like see that what you're doing is wrong. Like just like knowing, like just self-awareness and and it just it blows my mind. And it's just like you can like this isn't difficult and how much it makes your life better. Yeah. Like being able to do and one of the things that I think that'll like down the road help me a lot is falling and like getting hit at quarterback.
Oh yeah.
And being able to like I was also, you saw how small I was. I wasn't fighting you. I wasn't Big Ben, like taking on your hit and like walking away from it. You hit me. I got to figure out how that ground is softer in a certain way. That's it. That's all it is.
Yep, that's a skill.
Yeah, and it's just like injury prevention, all that. Like I would much rather. And also now we're getting to the point too. Like I don't know if I'd want my kid to play contact football. Maybe when they're 12, like 10, 11, 12, not 6. Yeah. But like I still would very much allow my kid to play contact football from, I mean, if it's organized, I really, you know.
So I was asked this exact same question, and pretty much I would have given the same exact answer until, once again, you go in, you read, you go in, you watch, and like you said, a lot of the things that you mentioned. So my two sports would be this: wrestling and gymnastics. And if there was an option to do dancing, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I say that because it really, really honestly covers so many bases. So if you have a wrestler, and I'm going to just use wrestling and gymnastics first, the amount of relative strength you have to have, meaning strength relative to your body weight.
Yeah.
So pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups is
yeah.
ridiculous. Some of the best athletes I have trained have been 10-year-old gymnastic girls. Because their handstand ability, their core stability, their strength in certain positions is unmatched. Those two sports alone, they go by the function of, okay, they have to be, the kid has to be obviously flexible first and foremost.
Yep.
From flexibility then comes their ability to be mobile. So the mobility component is them being able to control that newfound flexibility. Then they have to be stable. So then stability comes into play. So they have to be able to be flexible to get into these positions, then be mobile to control them,
yep.
and then stable enough to be able to basically manifest these different movements in a way that's safe for their body. From there, they can now add strength. So from 6 to 12, I'm not too worried about my kid being muscular. I want them to be flexible, stable, flexible, mobile, and stable.
Yep.
So then now, let's say that we do get to a place where like they want to play basketball. Yeah, they might not be the best dribbler because they wrestled their whole life up to that point, or they did gymnastics.
Ankles.
Yes, but their ankles are stable. Their shoulders are good.
Yeah.
They have core strength. They have coordination because they've done gymnastics or they've done wrestling or they've done dancing, all of which incorporate coordination.
Yeah.
And they also have a component of toughness. Gymnasts are tough. Wrestlers are tough. So now it's okay, now you're 12, your brain is starting to kind of really be firing, and you can gain muscle. Let's go out to the basketball court. It's going to look like dog shit to start off, probably.
Yeah.
Because you haven't done it before.
But they're fast enough.
They're fast enough. Oh, my goodness. And so then I can always have them in a organized sport of wrestling or gymnastics, but have them dribble the basketball just for fun.
Yeah.
It ain't got to be bad.
Yeah.
So then when they get to basketball, there's some familiarity with it, but they're also more coordinated.
Or they're just at the level of everyone else.
Yes.
You don't have to. I mean, the athleticism will carry you farther. Than you being better than them. Yeah.
And you've seen it. I mean, like you said, on your team.
The Cassidy brothers.
They were top wrestlers, and they were great athletes.
They were the best athletes on the team.
Yeah. So
far.
it is no coincidence how that works.
Yeah.
It's very few in between where you have a kid who's a star player from football from age 6 to age 26, and he's just still killing it.
Yep.
Because at some point in time, he gets burnt out because of the over specialization, or he doesn't develop other skills.
Yeah.
Because all he knows is how to throw a football, how to run a football, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Whereas like wrestling, you have to have so much variation with, otherwise you lose.
Yeah, you got to know how to get out of everything.
Gymnasts, you have to be able to perform an entire routine and do it safely. And as you go up in ranks,
just in the air.
Yes, yeah. Like you said, when you fail, you have to know how to fall the right way. How do you think a gymnast feels or a wrestler feels?
Exactly.
You get taken out the wrong way, you're toast. You fall off the beam the wrong way, you're toast. Like these things allow kids to also develop proprioception. Yeah. So they can know where their body is in space. Dancing the same way, wrestling, gymnastics. So that's what I would have my kid, guy or girl, do first. Like, hey, let's get you into like gymnasts or like wrestling. Yeah. Especially as a guy, it's
crazy. Man. My cousins over in Minnesota, I think senior, like junior, and I think the other one's in like 7th grade. 2 girls, oldest girls, and then a youngest boy. The oldest girl was on. When she was in like 6th, 7th, she was in gymnast. Mm-hmm. She was a gymnast. She was asked to go on the Olympic track.
Yeah.
And when I'm telling you, like when this girl was like 6, 7, I mean, I saw videos of her on the beam. I saw her videos doing like the floor routines.
With so much control.
And just flipping. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
So then she kind of, once again, she's like, well, you either go on the Olympic track and you don't live a normal life, or you go to high school like a normal kid. Yeah. And so she took that route and kind of chilled out. Now the younger brother is a gymnast. Me and him will literally, when we see each other, have handstand competitions to see who can walk. Like we'll be like here to there. You walk on your hands. We'll see who beats each other.
And it's think about that.
Who's doing that?
Yes, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
like
bro.
You don't have families. Like you don't go to a family function and be like, oh, we're gonna have handstand races today. No, like that's. I thought it was sick because I was like, dude, I can. Because he obviously could do it long before I could. Yeah. And then I was like, I started practicing. I saw someone do it at Evolution, and I was like, you know what? We're gonna if I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna fuck around and do this and learn how to do it. I can legitimately like.
I saw you. I can see you. I can see you.
So my cousin came, and I mean, this kid is just like
chisel.
Oh, bro, he's got the whole 6-pack, regardless of what he's doing. He's got like the ball. Like, I didn't have a ball. I still don't have a ball for my bicep.
Yeah,
he's already got that.
Yeah,
just down and back. Me and him are sitting there, and we can do it for a while. Like, it's not like we get tired of it. Like, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's just crazy to have that.
And think about. So me being like the nerd that I am when it comes to this type of stuff.
Yes.
I was doing CrossFit fresh out of COVID because it was the next best competitive thing. I got really good at it. And at 250, it's kind of hard to be like, but I hammered it, bro.
You got to do a lot.
So I hammered it. And so like, I want to get back into it when I have more time, but I was doing the handstand walks. And I'm like, dude, that shit looks easy. I'm going to just hop up and do them. No, they're not.
No.
Because for one, like we talked about in gymnastics and wrestling, dancing, the proprioception, the first part. Being upside down is not natural for a human. No. So if you don't do it at an early age, it's so tough as an adult to be like, I like being upside down. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because you know the risk. If I fall wrong, I'm breaking my neck. Kid doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do it, whatever.
Yeah.
So you got that component of it. So the first thing is first, like your brain is like, don't be upside down, bro. It's bad. Well, as a kid, they don't see that. Then you think about, okay, the actual movement itself. So let's just go from like the wrist. The flexibility of some people's wrist is dog shit.
Yep.
The forearms are tight. They're tight. They're always crumped up like this.
Yep.
Now you have to be able to be flexible. From there, you got elbows and shoulder. Okay, like we said in the beginning. Okay, if you don't have the mobility to even control that overhead motion, you're screwed. Let alone the flexibility. Some guys can't even do this, but like the mobility to be able to get there and hold it, and then the stability.
Put weight on it.
Oh, the stability to not fall flat on your face afterwards. Yeah. So then you got the proprioception, you got the shoulder, wrist, blah, blah. And then it's like, okay, the most forgotten part of it all, because then some guys get really strong up top, the core.
Yeah.
Yeah, then integrate all that. Oh, man.
And, like, you don't realize, like, I'm telling you, once you, like, you obviously have felt it, but, like, once you get into that, like, you feel the center of gravity, it is literally, like, it's crazy. It's no effort. Mm-hmm. Like, you would grab 20-pound dumbbells and do shoulder presses. Yeah. You're going to get tired doing that way faster than your shoulders are going to get tired doing handstands.
Yes.
Like, you literally lock. You don't do anything.
Yes.
And it's just, like, but finding that and like doing that, so how I kind of learned, which was even like crazy, people didn't even understand, I would legitimately grab one of those slam balls, like 20 pounds, and when you have more weight, you can feel everything way better. Obviously you better not fucking let go, because your nuts are gonna get crunched. But like, if you can get up, you can feel it, and you're like, okay, like I can understand this now. And then you drop that fucker, and you're just like, I'm walking like normal. Like it's nuts. And I don't know, dude. It's just handstands are, and it was cool just to get good at that, because then once again you get that, like, people look at you like, how the fuck are you doing handstands right now?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And for you to have learned the skill, me and you both, at an older age, it's crazy, because like I said, dude, some of the best athletes, and I will say this, the most dedicated athletes that I've worked with was the 8 to 13-year-old gymnast or wrestler.
Yeah.
And like, you would think, because like I said, I was a intern at CMU with Coach Welsh, so I saw guys that are probably going to go pro.
When did you do that?
I did that this past fall.
Okay. I did that COVID.
Yeah, so so I saw some great athletes. I have friends who are in the NFL right now. They're great athletes. But I'm telling you, man, it's just a difference between watching an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old female do a handstand walk, and I tell her, okay, now from the handstand walk, I want you to go into your routine. Boom, she busts it out. And then, we take a rest. Okay, I want you to practice, because like, obviously I don't have where I was training at in Midland, I didn't have a balance beam for her, so I'm making up stuff now, because like, I'm not gonna have her doing presses. The most weight training that me and her did was like band work. She's 12, dude. Yeah. Bands is good enough. Yeah. But it was more so getting her acquainted to being in these positions. So okay, I would have her hold a handstand. Okay, now do a shoulder tap against a wall. Yeah. So now she's learning, okay, I can be stable on just one hand. Yep. So in the case of her having a mishap in a routine, she's not gonna panic. Yeah. I've been on one hand before. I'm good now. Any strengthening we did do was like light dumbbell work for like the rotator cuffs. Yeah. We may have done some stuff for like her quads, just because like she's 12. She's not doing leg extensions at the gym. So we do some goblet squats, stuff like that, fundamental stuff like that. But other than that,
things that are more
it was like
based.
It was like L sits.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, well, can you do one? I'm like, yeah, probably not as long as you, but I'll do one with you. L sits, dude. I cramped. She's going hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, keep going, but I'm trying to show that I'm literally spazzed. My stomach's spasming right now. But like, so we would do things like that where it's like she always had the motor of go. I want to know more. I want to do more. You get a college-aged athlete or high school-aged athlete who's set in their ways. I'm a football player. I'm a basketball player. I'm a hooper, whatever. You tell them to do something that they think may be contradictory to what they're trying. Like if I told a basketball player, hey, we're about to do incline chest press. I don't really believe in flat barbell bench press for them, but the incline is fine, right? No, man, my shot going to be jacked up. Man, what? Yeah. All right, bro. You know what I'm saying? But like if I tell a gymnast or a wrestler that, they're ready to go.
Yeah.
They're taking it on.
Yeah. Well, that's because that's the immediate reaction to that. Mm-hmm. Like, what's also crazy, being from a basketball school, and it was so, like, that, the older coach, the grandpa, very much that way. Mm-hmm. The kids, the son, and then the grandsons, I played with the grandsons, they didn't lift heavy, but they lifted every day. Yeah. And they bench pressed every day, and they did all these, like, they were just basic, like, they just wouldn't increase their weight in season. Yeah. They would still do the same amount. They'd still do everything because it's totally like if everything stays like you're not making drastic changes, your shot's going to be fine.
Right. And the thing is that throws off a lot of guys' shots is like you said, if they put on too much muscle too soon or they're too sore. Yeah. And these are things that we can control for. Like if I don't want a guy to put on a bunch of muscle, I'm not gonna have him eating a caloric surplus. It's tough when you're playing sports, but you monitor calories. Yeah. And I'm not gonna have them doing too many strenuous reps. If I don't want a guy to be too sore, okay, I'm not going to have him perform too many eccentrics. So if a basketball player is worried about a shot being thrown off for his upper body. No, let's say for like his lower body. I may have him do a trap bar deadlift for one that's a little bit easier on most taller athletes. Yep. And then have him perform it mainly just all eccentric. So have him stand up and then drop it. So the eccentric part's taken out of it. So, or sled pushes. You know what I'm saying? You're taking away all the eccentric out of it so you don't get that soreness. Yeah. But you're able still to enhance performance. Though. Yeah.
But you can jump higher.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be sore later.
Yeah. But some people are just like, nope, taboo. So it's one of those things now is like, that just goes hand in hand with it's like, okay, but look at this though. Some of the best NBA players are not sticks. Shaq, arguably one of the most dominant players to ever play as a big man. He was not skinny. I'm sorry. He wasn't a Wemby right now. Yeah, he was Shaq. He's Diesel for a reason. Yeah. LeBron James, when he was arguably at some of his most dominant years, was 260, 270.
Yeah, huge.
Zion. Now, granted, the injuries do come, but I don't know if Zion is all muscle. Yeah. But he's a big dude. When he plays, he's dominant. Yeah. Size does matter. Now, you have to also keep in mind, you have to adjust for different variables. Like, for example, I don't really want my small forward being 270 like Zion or whatever he is. That is not. Yeah. And when he's jumping, and like his playing style, he's a jumper. He's athletic. You know, that's a lot of weight to keep crashing down on. So like, lighten him up a little bit, but like he's never going to be light Trevor Ariza. He's not going to be as you know. So I just think that nowadays though it is getting better, but it's also in some aspects. There are some guys who are like, no, I'm specializing in basketball. I'm not going to do anything that's not basketball skill related and plyometric related. Yeah. So.
That's crazy. It does. It just, once you figure out how training works, you realize that it's all, like, it all comes together. There's reason to do other random. Yes. Like, there's plenty of reasons to do random things that you will probably never do again, like boxing. Like if you did one boxing, you would understand how like that could translate to other things.
Oh, absolutely.
Or like, you know what I mean? Yep. You don't have to, like, obviously if you're an NBA player, you're not going to go box for the rest of your life. But like you boxing every once in a while is going to help something.
Yo, absolutely.
I mean, it's going to help.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just who is, I don't know if you know this off the top of your head, but I like because he puts a bunch of content out. It's Max Schlesinger. Phoenix
Suns. Yep. I watched a few podcasts with him on their interviews.
So I used to love him. I got him to like one of my freaking posts once, but he got big into the whole kettlebell, thing. Yep. And he's out there, and he can do the tricks. Yeah. And I don't know if you see like where they like throw.
I've seen him do. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got one where he does the whole. It's like a split squat, and you do the bounce, like you pretty much drop it, switch your legs, and then catch it. and it's just like I did that video for him on Instagram, and he liked it. I thought that was like sick.
Oh yeah, yeah,
like, dude, that's like
when they recognize you.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like awesome. But getting into like more like training stuff. One thing I find hard being a personal trainer is training myself, like, and actually believing that I know that this plan would work for other people.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it's not. I never feel like it's a good enough plan for me.
Yeah.
Do you ever get that?
Yeah. No, that's one of my biggest downfalls is that I feel like, but even the same thing goes when I have trained so many people now that's like, even there's times where I'm like, when I make them, like, this is bulletproof, and then I watch it be implemented, I'm like, nope, don't like it, and the clients see results, they love it, but I'm like, nope. Same thing with me,
because you're like that, you want to get that, like, you want to be perfect, but there's and then when you're not perfect, it's just, to me, maybe not you, but like, to me, it's just like immediate, like,
I'm angry,
fuck it,
I'm angry.
I'm just gonna go on to the next thing about my day.
I'm angry,
and then what I always tell myself is I'm gonna go home and figure out why.
Yes.
But then you figure out why. You figure out you're just being picky as fuck.
Yeah, now you're tripping. Yeah. So the one thing that helps me now is that to be a good trainer, you have to be able to train yourself first and foremost. So and that's a never-ending pursuit. You will always be training yourself because you have to. One thing that's helped me though is that I have bought or saw or looked at other people's programming. Because before I'm not buying nobody programming, it's me or nothing. I said, oh hell no. So I'll grab Joe DeFranco's program. I'll grab Matt Winney's program. Whoever I trust as a sports guy or strength guy or performance guy. Read their stuff, do it myself.
Judge it for yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's what they got in there. I would have said the same thing or something similar to it.
Yeah.
So maybe what I am putting for myself is okay.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is that when it's you training you, the only feedback you get is yourself.
Yeah.
So like if I write out a program, I'm like, okay, it looks good on paper. I go try doing it, I'm like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Well, imagine if that was a client and the client told you, I don't like doing this. You're gonna be like, no, bro, this is right, just do it. Same thing with you.
Yeah.
Like, you have to trust that, like, I wrote this up with the confidence that I'm doing this right.
Yeah.
And if I look at other people's program who has way more experience or way more success than me, and they would do something similar, like looking at mine compared to theirs, oh my gosh, pretty similar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna trust it. And I say that, but like today, for example, I might go in for what I wrote up, get halfway through, and like, yeah, screw this, I'm gonna do something else. Because like I feel like I can do something different.
Well, and there's also the fact of days. I hate, like, and this is another thing. I can't get into the point where I'm doing a singular, not singular, I guess, but like I don't do back days.
No,
I don't do chest days.
In high school, I did.
Yeah, but you know what I did? I did fucking bicep days.
Yep,
I did
Yep.
arm days.
Yep.
I didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
But like I despise back days or like just a specific day.
Yeah.
I will not do it. I will go do one or two exercises of something, and I'll be like, I'm sick of that.
I have to have strain. I have to have a little bit of strain behind it.
I'm going to back.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like I'll do squats and like one other exercise for my legs, and once I feel a strain, I'm done. I'm like, I don't like, now my back feels weird, and I'm just gonna go do back.
Yeah.
So then I'll do two things. I'll like stretch. I'll do my cardio, and then I'll go.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. So, like I said, training yourself is first and foremost the biggest key, because in high school, we didn't know anything. We thought bigger was better. And in fact, there was a class, bigger, faster, stronger, or something like that, right?
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
So we were doing, but also look at our influences. We had Mike Rashid, CT Flesher. You know, these guys are like, blah, 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 you know. So we're like back day, back and bicep, chest. You know, bodybuilder splits. We didn't know that. We thought this is how everybody trained that was in the fitness industry. Okay, I get to college, I'm like, okay, you can't get trained like this. So then my entire methodology changed to like everything performance based, box jumps, different plyos, intensive, extensive.
Yeah, if it doesn't translate to athleticism,
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, if it's slow,
yes, I'm not doing it. Yeah.
I immediately got out of lifting heavy because I was like, you know what? I don't need 400 pounds on my back.
Correct.
But if you can put 400 pounds on your back,
yeah, dude,
and be solid,
yeah,
there's also a big perk to that.
Yes, and so I went from that. So my phases have gone, bro split, performance split, very small, but like just like boxing. I want to be the best boxer. All of a sudden, it's really random. And then it was like COVID hit, so I'm like, okay, CrossFit's it. CrossFit's the bee's knees. Get certified in it. I get my certification paid for. Like, I was gonna be the next Mac Frazier. Okay, I still like CrossFit, but like, damn, who is this Matt Winnan and Louis Simmons, and they strong as shit. I know they on steroids, but that's fine. They strong as shit.
Yeah,
and they're smart, and they're not just like Mike Rashid, like, oh, I squat every day and this bullshit. No, they're like, hey, I'm strong and I'm smart. Okay, I'm gonna start watching them. Then I guess then the last year and a half has just been powerlifting stuff, and like I don't think I'll ever just be exclusively powerlifting or exclusively whatever. Like I want to do I want to be good in all areas, which is kind of like what CrossFit is, right? Yeah. So, but like then right now I'm very much in like my strength like performance phase. Yeah. So I'm taking a little bit of the bodybuilding, taking a little bit of the performance stuff, and the CrossFit. I'm mixed in the powerlifting. Now I'm just making this like hybrid program basically right now for myself, and it's really paying off because like I'm still strong, I'm still fast, I can jump, I can do these things like that, and I'm also mobile. Yeah. Now, how many guys in our gym can do an overhead squat? I can do a full snatch. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, And that encompasses the speed, the strength, and the mobility, the whole nine. So it's like, you really have to kind of bump your head and realize that, like, there's no real right program. There's only a program that fits your needs for that time and place. Same thing with your clients. Yeah. And you just got to be able to know, okay, what's the smoothest transition? I can't go from like a bodybuilding split to, all right, we're going to go to just being an endurance athlete now. Like, that's me. You can do it. Hard transition. Yeah. So it's like, but I can go from like doing bro splits to, okay, let's do a powerlifting like block. Because like I have the muscle, now I can add the strength. Yep. Okay, I'm done with that. Let's do some athletic stuff now. Because like I have the strength, I can do better plyos. Yeah. Okay, now let's go from the plyos. Let's do a combination of it all. Yeah. Let's do kind of like a quote unquote conjugate type style training. Yeah. So now I'm doing my dynamic effort days where I'm doing my speed work, and then I'm doing my max effort days where I'm doing like my heavy lifting. And then I also got my accessories in there, so I'm still getting some muscle growth out of it. So
have you ever had like those stages in your life where your body is like, your body's this, and then all of a sudden you change your training and your body's this, and now all of a sudden people are like, oh, your body, like they notice your body's different, and they didn't notice it while it was happening. They're just like, oh, you changed.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. That happened definitely when I transitioned more to like the CrossFit type style training into the strength training. So it's like, oh yeah, like okay, like you're jacked. Oh damn, dude, you're big. Like it went from that type of thing where it's like, and I've never trained honestly for aesthetics. It's been more so like, if I had a goal, like, hey, I want to be able to front squat 500. That's all I care about. I don't care how I look. It doesn't care
how you look. That's the goal.
But then, like, in the back of your head as a dude, you're like, I don't also want to look like shit. Like, that's just what it is. Like, there's a fine line between looking good and performing good, and like, you know, and I forgot who it was I was listening to, but like, they always say like this, like, if you want to look good, great, but like, in any direction, whether it's strength or it's speed or it's whatever, you're going, and it's like you get farther away from like the overall goal of being healthy and looking good. Because like if I want to get strong, I have to probably eat a little bit more, so I'm probably going to lose some of that aesthetic. Yeah. If I want to get fast, like I probably have to drop some weight, so that aesthetic I'm gonna look a little bit more wiry. Yeah. So it's like we all have this goal that we want to achieve, but like in any direction, strength, speed, whatever, you kind of get further away from that goal because you have to change your body type for it. Yeah. So for me, it's like I said, it's like I have people tell me, and it's like sometimes I'm like, damn, that kind of sucks that you said I look like shit. Not like shit, but like I look bigger. Yeah. But like it's fine though. Yeah. You know, like it'll change.
But it's like your aesthetic then becomes like an athletic aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like then people are just like, you're not big, you're athletic. Yeah. Like it's like you're not like the skinny like ripped dude, but I also wouldn't mess with you. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Like, and you get like, I don't know. So when I went, so this will be right out of high school. Obviously, you saw what I look like. I went to mid, and I had classes and work. I went for class in mid, Mount Pleasant, work in Midland, lived in Beaverton. Yeah. So
that's too much.
Exactly. So when it comes to eating, I'm eating whatever fills me up for the day, and whatever's cheap as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that turned out to be? Little Caesars.
Little Caesars, yeah.
Little Caesars. So I got
you get a lot for a little.
Yeah, exactly. You get a lunch combo for $5, and that's good for a day.
Yeah.
So I went from being like 160 in high school, I mean, just an average, like not muscle, but like I wasn't fat.
Yeah.
To like 190 my freshman year, and then I was like, you know what? And I lived with college basketball players. So these dudes are playing college basketball. They're coming home getting hammered, waking up the next day and running 7 miles for fun. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, you fuckers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can do, like, I mean, like, you can, I saw you drink last night, like, I live with you.
Yes.
Like, how do you do this?
Yeah.
So then they go and do that, and I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna hit the gym. So I hit the gym for like 4 or 5 months, hard as fuck. And then you kind of like, you know, the very beginning of when you start hitting the gym, you obviously have those 3 months on, 3 months off, 3 months
Yep,
on.
you do all
that, you go through the process. No one ever like freaking just immediately hits lifting and they're like, oh my god, I love this, I'm gonna do it forever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's rare. Like, people think that that's what we're like, that's what we do because we're like, we lift every day.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It just happened in high school rather than you happening in adulthood.
Yes.
So we go through all that, and I'm sitting there, and in my mind, and like I'm still like arguably prepubescent.
Yeah.
Like there's still changes in my body that I have yet to like notice.
Right.
And then I hit another growth spurt. So my junior year, I hit another growth spurt. Grow about 4 inches. I hit 5'10". I'm taller than my friends now.
Yeah.
But I'm still some of my friends. But I'm still not like nearly athletic. Like, I have no muscle mass whatsoever. And this may or may not have been the correct thing to do. But my buddy interested me in some SARMs.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the prescribed.
Right.
And I'm not gonna fuck around with this.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna, test it. You might know Mason Dunham.
Sounds familiar again.
Maury Courts, played basketball at mid.
Yep.
Massive beard.
Yeah.
Dude. He played with Spencer. He was Spencer's my roommate's. He was my roommate's roommate before me. Big exercise science. Did the whole Central internship, all that thing. He came up to me after I started doing that. He came up to my roommate. He's like, "What's Nate doing?" And Spencer's like, "Yeah, we've been talking about it. Like, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And he's like, and Spencer knew what I did because I showed him. It's just like a little eye drop. You chug some water, you're done.
Yep.
So I did, and I was doing that, and I was like, he wondered what it was at the beginning, and I was like, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, my bench goes from 180 to like 270 in like 2 months, 3 months. I'm sitting there. I go to work. I have people at work now telling me, I'm like, also, my diet wasn't like immaculate. I didn't measure anything, but I purposefully ate more. So like, eggs in the morning, I used to eat 3, I'm going to eat 4.
4, yeah.
I'm going to eat 5. I'm going to add egg whites. I'm going to whatever. If I have 1 plate of spaghetti now, I'm going to have 2.
Yep.
So
with some breadsticks.
I'm going to make sure I have enough to do this right. And I just blew up. I was strong. Dude.
Yeah.
I was strong. And I felt amazing. Boom, right after that, COVID. And obviously, COVID just takes everything out of you.
Oh, yeah.
So I went from being tiny, 200, strong thing, back to 180. But I was like, looked like in high school, like thin, but like now I was like, had a little bit of muscle.
Yeah.
So then I went back to lifting, doing my whole thing, and I met Ben and all those guys, and Rob, and I started doing the podcast, and obviously, you're in the powerlifting world and bodybuilding like they're doing.
Yep.
You're gonna know a little thing about roids. So I was like, let's hear your nutrition. Like, how do you eat? 130 grams of carbs. 140 of protein. 5 meals a day. Your breakfast is 4 eggs and some oatmeal. Right. And I'm like, you know what? For once in my fucking life, I'm gonna stick to a diet. Yeah. I did a little bit of SARMs and I did that diet. And that was right before my season of football. I was 190 pounds and I was legitimately stacked. Yeah. I would go, and I had someone call me out for this, and I didn't realize that was even like that cool or like that noticeable. I was squatting 365 for like 5 or 6. I would then walk over. This is when the incline bench in the gym was still in the other like.
Yep.
So I would go back and forth, doing like 5 or 6 reps on the incline bench. I had 285.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there
just cranking them out.
But I'm doing sets. I'm not messing around with just back and forth and then I'd lower it.
Yeah.
No, I'm like back and
stage sets.
The 3rd or 4th time I did it, this guy came up to me and he's like, dude, are you really supersetting your squats with fucking incline bench press right now? I'm like, yeah, I just feel good. And I don't like. Yeah. I mean, it's different. It's different body parts. Yeah. So like, I'm not tired.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So it was amazing. I got the best shape of my life, and I was like, you know what, this is fucking awesome. And then obviously everyone noticed that too. Like my dad, I thought about doing powerlifting and everything. My dad, who's horrible with fucking technology,
right?
Like all dads. I sent him pictures of like me posing. This motherfucker put him on Facebook on his stories because he didn't know what he was doing. And I'm sitting here and I like go on my stories and there's pictures of me without my shirt on, fucking just like doing shit in that mirror. I'm like, I called him. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't know how to do it. I'm like, okay, I guess everyone's gonna see that today. Yeah. But dude, it's just like those times feel great. Also, I think it's one of the reasons that I think I get so down on my progress. You know what I mean? Because it's like, when you see progress in a month or two, it's hard to
go back the opposite way.
Go the opposite way, but it's
Yeah, no, I so obviously, playing in college, you get tested. It was supposed to be random, but like I got tested like 3 times one year, and sometimes the athletic trainer can like just say, "Hey, we're going to test this guy," right? So, I've never had interest in taking anything. I guess performance enhancing or anything just in that nature as as well. But got to Alma and my roommate actually was doing SARMs and some other crazy stuff too. Hey bro, take this. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. So he did it. In my opinion, he did it all wrong. He had a crappy diet. He literally just looked like a big meatball.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Because you retain water.
Yeah.
You get big.
So I'm good. And I've been approached on numerous occasions to take something, but like you said, for me, it's like I don't want to have that pressure of like getting to a aesthetic or like a strength level, and then coming off and not being the same anymore. Yeah. Like I like staying natural because it allows me to, let's say I look like shit this month. That's fine because like next month I can improve it and I'm fine. Like it's incremental things. And you appreciate it more. Yeah. Because, like, when I know guys who got on trend or different, they look nice, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, they look nice. Yeah. And then they get off and they're just depressed. Like, I look like shit. And, like, no, bro, you look better than 99% of people in here, but, like, because you are used to a certain aesthetic, you can't even appreciate it. Yeah. Same thing with guys that get on there's different peptides now for strength and different, So they'll get really, really strong, hop off for health reasons or for jobs, whatever. Anything. Yeah. And then they're, like, back to, like, high school weight. Oh man, I'm like, but the thing is, imagine if you would have just chiseled away naturally. And let's say that you do decide to compete. Obviously, like, you got to do what you got to do then. Yeah. But in the times of like not competing, just do as much as you can, because then also too, it helps you become a better trainer. Because now, as an unenhanced guy, I understand the struggles that it is to put on muscle or to lose weight or whatever. I can't. But like, if I'm someone who's always just stuffed out of my mind, I won't understand. I won't have as much understanding of you because like I'm used to just popping a pill or popping a shot or whatever, and I'm good to go. So
no, that's and I think the only reason that I am not as like hard on myself for doing those is because I not only gained if you talk about the percentage of like actual aesthetic gained, okay, yes, I went from here 100% better. I only lost say like 30% because I still go to the fucking gym after. Like, it's not like I'm not putting up 285 on the fucking incline bench press. I can still put up like 225. Like, I mean, it's not like I lost everything. Right. So then at least my whole point was just because I was always behind the 8 ball.
But what you got over me now is the fact of I could tell you how the shit works. You can tell me how it feels. Yeah. So like I can never tell someone how it feels because so that's what I mean. Like, you're big,
no. And how it feels, honestly, and this is another thing. I'm also like, I feel like I get lucky in the whole side effect aspect because I mean, yes, I don't fuck around and do way extra. Right. Like if it tells me 10 milliliters once and twice, like in the morning and at night, that's what I fucking do. And like I might double down because I've seen people double down on SARMs, but I don't like do like 4 or 5. I mean, I might do 2. Yeah. but I do what they tell me, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you do that, and you eat good, and you go to sleep. And like if you have problems sleeping, you won't. If you feel like lifting twice a day, you're gonna go home and you're just gonna be like,
out.
You're gonna be done.
Yeah.
And then you're also like, if you don't have an appetite in your life,
watch this.
Yeah. You're gonna fuck some shit up.
Yeah.
People are gonna look at you like, how are you doing this right now? And like, it's the obviously the first diet, me just eating extra, compared to the controlled one.
Structured, yeah.
Like, even with the control and the structure, you're eating every 2 to 3 hours. I'm never hungry.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like, I eat enough, I'm full enough, like, I don't have that urge. And then you, like, and this is what also makes me mad, because I don't know for sure what it is, because that was the first time I did the Great Diet. But, like, having 4 eggs and oatmeal in the morning, because I usually don't have oatmeal. Oatmeal is just like oatmeal.
Yeah.
But like, I would go in, and literally, it was well before it should. Like the first week, like the first 2-3 days.
Yeah.
Before I probably should feel anything, I'm already squatting more on the sheer fact that I just eat breakfast.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that was not SARMs. That was me like being full and walking in with a full stomach and a bunch of energy. And now 225 is a warm up rather than me freaking stressing myself.
Yeah.
Like, do I up the weight? Because this is already hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but and that's another thing too that I got into. Like I was, because like I said, man, it's the whole Dunning-Kruger effect, where it's like you learn something new, you think you know everything. Yeah. So it's like in college, like that was big when like the whole fasting came out. People were fasting. I'm like, okay, bet. And I'm working at GNC in college, so I'm like, all right, bet. Like, I'm trying to push too. Don't eat fast. Just F breakfast, like, you know, whatever, right? So I'm going to the gym or football practice fasted. And low key, I ain't gonna lie, I felt good, but I think it's more because I wanted to feel good. I was like, I want to feel like this.
And you might also have more mental clarity.
Yes, and I'm not eating because, like I said, you don't know how to eat in college, for me at least. So it's supposed to be eating 3 waffles with peanut butter, some syrup, and some eggs. I'm not eating anything. So now I'm going to the lifts from whatever I ate last night. So I'm still pretty much. I'm not full, but I'm.
You have something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then I'm in the weight room. I'm like, cool, but like by the end of the lift, I'm dying, bro. Yeah. I'm dying, but I'm like,
it's a different kind.
But in my head, I'm like, that's okay though. That's how it's supposed to be. And then I get out of college, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna keep doing the fasting thing. I'm gonna keep working on it without eating. So I'm at the gym like 5 a.m. No food in my body, and my last meal was at 9 p.m. Yeah. So it's 8 hours since I've eaten. So I'm in there trying to work out. I'm like, okay, I don't feel as bad, but like I'm not as strong. By 6 a.m. from a 5 a.m. lift, I'm already dead. So I gotta go eat now. So now, because like with work and with school and whatever, you know, I obviously eat breakfast, and like you notice the difference. You know, you feel, and even like the pumps.
Yeah, you actually
look different.
Yeah,
bro. I look huge. Like I'm like, okay, I you know,
good.
Yeah. So, and that's just, but like that's just what it was. Like I remember watching Mike Rashid. I don't eat for 3 days, and then I go lift every day for 3 hours. I'm like, oh, he's definitely doing that, knowing damn well he's not doing that. But it sells. It's gonna grab your attention. It's social media. You're gonna. So I'm trying to do the same thing. I ain't gonna eat. I'm gonna go lift, and then bruh, I was starving.
You hear all these, like, I saw another thing on freaking something on social media about how your testosterone goes up 300% after like the 30th hour of not eating.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god. I was like, that's like steroids. I'm like, bro, you're also not eating for 30 hours, bro. Like, there's got to be some other.
Yes.
Like, the only reason your testosterone is that high is to make up for all the shit you don't have.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just a consequence of like, so obviously not eating is going to elicit, you know, different responses from hormones. And like sometimes hormones can't all interact at the same time. So if one hormone is down-regulated or not in use right now, the other one has to go up. But it's not because this all of a sudden this magic pill. It's because your body's like, dude, something's going wrong. Yeah. We have to elevate something, because if we don't, we're gonna die or we're in a crisis. So it's a lot of those anecdotal things where it's like you will see correlations. Oh well, if you wake up, like the one that I use still to this day, I don't know, and is if you wake up with a boner, you have high testosterone. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. yeah, right. And so then it's like, but then it's also like, okay, but there's so many other variables that go along with that, like you know. But
you also have a naked girl poster.
Yeah, you're right.
That might be a factor.
I remember telling a lot of guys in college that, like, to like scare them, like, dude, do you wake up with a boner? Because they would always be like, oh, I'm going to take testosterone. And I'm like, first of all, we can't. Yeah, we're tested for that, but whatever. And they're like, well, I'm like, well, do you wake up with a boner? Sometimes I say, dude, maybe you should. And like, just to scare them. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, man. But no, dude, it's just like, with so much, social media is huge because, like, there's so much information out there that I believe is good information. But you also got to understand something that, like, if good information is what makes social media, everyone would be famous because you would just get good information. But you have to sometimes stand out. You have to do things that are against the grain. You have to clickbait or whatever it's called to get people to click. So sometimes people will say stuff like, "Hey, no one should like." For a long time, bro, it's like don't squat below 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Don't deadlift or don't
because it hurts your low back.
Don't do cardio. Like yeah. So just these things where we're like. Inherently, we know that's not right. Yeah. But, like, because they said it, maybe there's some merit. So I'm going to just read it. I'm going to be curious.
Yeah. And you, in the back of your mind, you're deadlifting all, oh, my back.
Yeah.
My back feels a little weird.
At 90, my knees do kind of creak a little bit. And then you get into this rabbit hole. And then they sucker you in. They sell you a program. Social media is a blessing and a curse. Because, like I said, my biggest thing when I first started on it was, like, I wanted to, like, do it for football. Okay. NFL ain't gonna work out. I want to do it for fitness. Okay, I really don't like lying or trying to sell products I'm not really taking, or I don't want to be enhanced. Okay, I'm gonna do it for just the educational aspect of it, and also just to be transparent.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of pressure off you then, because you don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to be in the NFL. You can just post and give
things that you know is correct.
And or for me, I use it as a teaching tool for myself. So I'll read a study all morning or all day, and then implement it, reword it, make a blog post about it like on my website or do whatever, and then post it, right? And by me teaching, I learn it better.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what my social media really is like either my own ideas or like other people's ideas that I've taken, reworked, and then put it into like simpler forms. You have a lot of guys, dude, and girls that try to be the Jeff Nipperts, the Jordan Shallows, these guys that like use really big words that don't mean shit to the normal person. Me telling you how your acetabulum works or how your shoulder joint works, the glenohumeral, blah blah, does nothing for the like that overcomplication training. I've had girls tell me, well, shouldn't I be in an anterior pelvic tilt or to target more? I said, do you feel it in your hamstrings? Yes, then fucking do it. Yeah, simple as that. And granted, there is deeper than that. But for the novice or the normal gym goer, you don't need to go that much. Because once you start thinking about it, you take away the stimulus from the actual group, and then you lose the muscle building property anyways. Just focus on training. Yeah. But, yeah, dude, it's wild. It's wild.
When did you start getting into the point where you're like, I'm always going to post?
So in college, I really, like I said, posted because I knew I had buddies that followed me. So I'm like, I'm posting it because it's like a friendly, like, banter thing. When I knew I was going to post was quarantine. So we got a gym in our garage, and, like, no one was working out because there was no gyms open. So we were, like, working out in the gym. I'm like, I'm going to post stuff. It's, like, give people ideas to work out at home. Mm-hmm. This is going to help long term, right? And so I knew then I wanted to post more, but, like, what really kept me doing it was, like, getting the DMs and the people who see me at the gym. Or I'll go to gyms in, like, Grand Rapids. People are like, hey, I follow you, and I don't think you know it, but, like, I like what you post, and I like the information.
Yeah.
Just give.
Does that not just...
It blows your mind. It blows your mind. And so I started... That's when it was like, okay, I'm going to do it every day just because, like, I'm a student, and I want to be able to learn as much as I can. I want to also be able to teach as well. So I'm going to just post it because even if it doesn't reach the target audience or doesn't reach how many people I want it to reach, it's going to reach somebody. Yeah. And your social media ends up being like your resume online. So, like, if you go to my page, you can see, okay, this is what he does. This is what he likes to do, boom, boom, boom. And it's all there. Yeah. So whether there's a post that gets 1,000 likes or a post that gets 5 likes, it's there for you to take and what you need from it and go from there. So it was more so like recognizing that people actually paid attention and, like, cared. And then me also being like, I want to know more, so I'm going to just put out more. So it's like my self-rehearsing what I just learned. Yeah. So.
And that's the simplest way to be consistent because then it's not about anything else.
No, it's about
other than what you want to know.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how. Yeah. I've always, like, come up with ideas And then I was just like, oh yeah, that'd be a good video. Like people would like,
oh, absolutely,
and
bro.
And then you're like, oh yeah, but so would going home.
I just last night, dude. I deleted 167 videos from my phone of all video concepts that I had that I wanted to talk about. But I got so overwhelmed with what I wanted to speak about. I said I'm gonna start clean. I deleted 167 movement demos. I posted the movement demos to my website for my personal training page, but like. Deleted them all.
You just
cleared it. So now, like anything now, I started yesterday. Anything I record, I'm posting it that day. Because my issue was,
if you don't,
bro, I would like record, boom, 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 have this bat, and okay, I'm gonna make a post Wednesday. Then Wednesday comes, I make it Friday.
Yeah.
So now by Friday, I have a whole week's worth of training videos. I'm like, what do I even talk? Why did I post it? Why did I do that video? But like, or I know I'm like, I can't post all this in one day. So me being anxious, yes.
You feel, you're like,
overwhelmed.
I can't have 5 posts.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, so I'm like, I'm gonna just scrap everything. And it sucks. I'm like, damn, that was a good movement. But like, no, I'm gonna just start clean and do it the right way. So like, if like, for example, today, like if I'm focusing on like the aerobic output method, today's video will be that, and that's it. Once that shit's done, the video's gone. I'm not gonna, because my issues, I'll leave all the videos on there. So my entire library is just videos or screenshots of training stuff. Mm-hmm. It sounds great, but like it gets overwhelming. When I go to my camera roll, I'm like, okay, what was I looking for? All right, nope, okay.
And it's hard to figure out which one is which.
Yeah. So I said, I got it, because like, dude, there's like, I probably had like 20 duplicate videos of me doing like RDLs. Because I was going to talk about a concept in that one, or like the strength component of that one, or like a bench press thing. Like it was like I had so many videos that looked the same, but I knew the nuances. That was like, I'm not thinking. I'm gonna go insane.
Yeah.
So.
And then you just got
Yeah.
So now we're to the point of, and like that's the systems of it all. Like having systems to your to keep shit consistent. Because I have no training system. Mm-hmm. I just go in, do what I feel, leave.
So like imagine trying to make a post off of that.
Exactly.
Which you could.
I mean, yeah, you could make a post about the inconsistency of that.
Yes.
Which does it credit you as a trainer?
No, but
honest.
It makes you honest, and it makes you also very relatable.
Yeah.
You know how many people I know that I'll go, hey man, what you in today? I don't know, probably a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Imagine if they saw someone who's a trainer doing it, and they're like, hey, but like the reason why I do it this way is because this and this. But I want to get to the point, like you can kind of talk about why you have been that way, but how you're going to change it.
Yeah.
Because now they're like, oh, I can relate to him.
And if I did just a little bit more like he does,
then
it would, exactly.
So like, there's always a way to relate to people. It's just like you have to find it.
Yeah.
And you can't be afraid to show that transparency. Like there's times where like I don't work out. Nah, I'm lying. But there's times where like times where like, I think about I don't want to work out, and I'll post like, hey, I want to work out today, but then I'll post me working out.
Later,
bang, I'm
working out.
I'm repping 315 or something, right?
Yeah.
So it's like those things where it's like I will not necessarily play into the emotion of others, but I'm like, I'm going to show you my raw emotion. Today, like, I'll post a funny thing. Because that's how, like, I literally feel like a fish out of water. Yeah. Just a random video. It's not no caption behind it. It's just a picture of like, last week I posted a picture of a dog in a puddle. Like, people probably like, what the hell does this mean? But for me, that's how I felt. It was hot as shit. And I felt like a dog in a puddle. And then the next post, I'm at the gym. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no matter what you see on my story or you see on my feed, it's like, it may be some nonsense. You're like, what is that about? But then the next post, like, oh, he getting it though.
Yeah, he's still
he getting it. Well, you know, so and sometimes that's all it is. Like, I don't have a method to everything. Sometimes it's just like, this is what I feel like. This is what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
So.
Gnats flying around. Yeah. No, that's the biggest thing too. Because like, obviously, if you want to be a personal trainer and you don't have content, what do you like? What's gonna
or a website or anything
that set you away from everything? Like anyone. So. That's obviously the next step in my process is figuring out what that system's going to be, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to make, all that good stuff. So, yeah. I don't know, man. I can't wait to, like, get into it. Also, I told you about Colette. Have you ever thought about, or I don't know if you have already, but, like, having a coach for your business rather than coach, like, for training?
So I found her... What was this, like a month ago?
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit. She seems like she's obviously freaking very dedicated, very driven. She's jacked. You know, she's smart. She seems. We haven't had in-depth conversations yet, but like she seems very smart, very, very humble, and just hardworking. So I looked at her page as like, okay, what is she doing? And I think any good trainer does that. You look at certain, okay, what is she doing? Okay, how is she, like you said, what's her system? And whatever game plan she has going on is obviously pretty successful. And like obviously I'll never try to do what she's doing, but like I definitely like, okay, I can take a part of what she's doing and implement it, or see why that works for her and try to see if it would work for me. But I've never really done the whole business coaching thing. Because for me, I think sometimes we jump the gun. It's like we develop a business and we want a business coach. No, because here's the thing: you can have the best business coach in the world. If you have no clients to keep that business running, what are you doing? So like for me, it was like I'm still in the place where I'm like, I run a pretty decent business by myself and with my own knowledge that it's not really all that versed in business, but in training. When I get to a place where like, okay, my clients and everything are set, I'm confident in my programming all the time or a lot of the time. I'm confident in like getting results, which like I'm confident in it, but like I want to be more confident in it, right? And once I get to that place, then I can say, okay, like business is starting to really boom. Let me bring out the best logistics for my business now. Because right now I only take on 6 clients at a time. Personal training for a reason, because like I feel like to be personal, you have to be very limited. Guys and girls that take on 50 clients with just them, how is that personal training? That's 50 check-ins, like minimum in a month. Because you figure 1 every 2 weeks or so like that. 50 clients, bro. That's a lot. That's a lot. So like for me, it's like, okay, if these clients were in person, it'd probably be a lot easier. But like online, it's too hard. So for me, it's like I'm going to get good at these 6 or 7 clients, and then if they, 10. Then 10. When you get to 10, okay, you might want to get a business coach because now you got to start looking at different logistics and all that. But right now, it's like
you're just chilling.
I'm just chilling, bro. I'm really chilling, and like what I got going right now is work for me. It keeps me afloat. It keeps me able to have flexibility in certain areas. And once I get to a place where I feel like I don't have that anymore, then I'll bring in a business coach. So
that little bit of side income that makes everything like you obviously always have your other jobs. But
one day I want it to be the job.
I want it to be So this is more so kind of like currently in progress, but like what is your end goal? Like what would be your ideal situation to become,
So that's
owning a gym?
Yeah. So that's always been the thing. Even when I was playing football, I'm like, I want to own my own gym one day. So life has been crazy. So like obviously when I get to CMU, I see the collegiate aspect of things. So I'm like, at first I'm like, I'm gonna be a strength and conditioning coach for sure.
Did that?
And I see it, I'm like, no, I'm good because not that it was necessarily a bad experience. It was more so like I realized to get to that place, you had to do a lot of things that I didn't really want to do. Full honesty.
And even when you get to that place, there's a lot of things you got to deal with just to be with the athletes you want.
That's what I'm saying. So I was like, no. So then, no.
Once I realized what Coach Welsh does, I'm like, Coach Welsh, the parts of your job that I see are amazing, and I think would be very rewarding. But I don't see you for the vast majority of the time, and I don't know what you're doing that, and I don't think it's fun.
No, and just even when me and him talk, I'm like, no, and I also don't see myself being a personal trainer that works for someone else's gym. Like I'm like, okay, why not own my own performance facility where I can implement different types of training styles? I can have coaches underneath me. And like I oversee it, but like I also can be on the floor. I can also accept who I want to accept and deny what I want. Like I don't really necessarily want just general population guys in the gym all the time because they fuck up the equipment. 24/7 gyms like are great concept.
It's a different if I'm coming into the gym and I know I'm gonna be training people, I want people like me.
I want the environment right, and that's the thing. Two of the most underrated things in training is a good training partner and a good training environment. So like a good training partner helps. Good training environment helps too. So like if I have a gym, I don't want it to be like just the Joe Blows that just like want to just go post that they're in the gym. I want someone that's in there actually busting their ass because it creates a great culture. So that's my end goal, is to have my own gym. Recently, though, I transitioned to a completely different field of study, or I guess what you call it, occupation. So right now I'm doing actually training for public safety. So I'm like firefighters right now, schooling for that until August. Then after that, I go right into the police academy. And then from there, I'm a cop that fights fires. So really different, but it still holds some of my training principles because like I'm able to now train like in multifaceted ways. Yeah. Because you have to be able to do all these things. Yeah. And there's also a field, or I should say,
of personal training
for military or tactile personnel.
Exactly.
Yes. So like that's kind of, I'm like, okay, like if I have my own gym, like me being around firefighters and policemen, it gives me more credibility to when I have a gym. Like, hey, if you guys want to come, I can train your whole department.
Exactly.
You like, or like now that I've worked with college athletes, say I can train your college athletes. I've trained with adolescents. I've trained your children. Like I can train whatever you think.
Yeah.
I can do.
And what's even crazier, and this is like not taken away from your situation, but like you also want to be so secure that you don't have to do any of those things.
Yeah.
You just want to be able to do all of the things to where then, like, come your gym, you could tailor it to whatever makes the decent, like, whatever wage you want to make, you tailor it to that, and you tailor it to the specific thing, and then you're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then when it also comes time to hire trainers underneath me, I can say, hey, listen, if you want to specialize in tactile training or specialize in youth training, great. And I can let them do their own thing, but I can also know, okay, you bullshitting because I've done it. I've done it. Yeah, you can, but like I'm not as deep as you are, but like I know that.
But even if you weren't as deep, think of it just business wise, you could teach them.
Yes.
If someone came in with any like, hey, I want to just train youth, you're like, okay, I have the facility.
Yeah.
This is like the according times you can do. I will help you.
Yes.
And then once we get established and once I like know like. Boom, make me money.
Yeah, go for it.
Rent my shit, and then good.
Yeah, and that's kind of just been my thing. Is like I said, like wanting to be an educator. It's like knowing, and the best teachers aren't the ones that know everything. They know a little bit about everything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I just want to know a little bit enough to like get the ball rolling, and then you
can learn more down the road and be
correct. Correct, and allow my gym to be a place where trainers don't stay for 10, 15 years. They stay for like 5. Yeah. They come in. They get their feet wet. They understand what they're doing. Then they go to their more specialized venture. I'm fine with that. Yeah. I want you to go off and specialize in what you want to do. That's your passion.
Are you talking about your trainers? You mean?
Yes. Yeah. So one day when I have my own gym, it's like that's kind of like the model I want to have. Is like almost like you have a 5-year window to kind of like figure out what you want to do, specialize in it, and then go do it. Yeah. Now, if you stay longer, I'm not gonna be mad at you. But I'm like, I want you to go off as fast as possible to get that experience because like that's how I learned. Yeah. It's like going from typical hometown gym setting to college setting to like rec center,
coaching the college setting.
To just so you just bounce around and like it may look like you don't have any stability. It's like no, I don't, and that's good right now because like I'm gaining so much experience, so many different. I'm messing up a lot, so then that way now I'm able to like not do that again. Yeah. As opposed to me like the guys that like get big off of like powerlifting or big off of aesthetics, and then they're like, all right, I'm gonna open up a gym now.
Yeah. You better niche the fuck down.
Yeah.
And you're it. That's it. And
that's it. Yeah. That's it. So it's like I'm glad that I'm able to do a lot of different things and kind of have that background with it. So
yeah. So I'm in the same boat. Ideal situation. So I want to go do that. Take that van trip, do what I want to do. And honestly, that's more so like a dream that if it doesn't hit Netflix, doesn't do any of that, right. I still have a whole year of shit.
Experience.
And I have all those people I met, blah, blah, blah. You know, no matter what, if nothing comes of it, there's shit that comes of it.
Yeah.
So when I come back, though, me and her have talked about this. She wants to be obviously established in her field, being a PA, until... before she wants kids. Yeah. So then I was like, okay, well, give us some more time. I'll go do this, come back, think about kids. So you think about kids, like, I, per se, like, personal training, if I got this personal training gig going and established and partially online, then I can stay home. And how cool would it be? I mean, not, like, obviously, like, stay-at-home dad isn't, like, the premier job. Yeah. But, like... who does it?
Right.
Who does it? Yeah. And how awesome would it be to like no daycare, no nothing, like the kid, and like just imagine this. My daycare is the gym. Yeah. Like if I wanted to,
we're going to the gym.
We're going to the gym. Yeah. We're not even going to the gym. Thing, bro. We're going to work.
Yeah.
We're going like this is where I work. So like we're just gonna go here, and I'll have like my perfect situation is build my own home, build a fucking gym right next
to it.
And I want like a different driveway.
Yep.
And my business plan, what I would want to do is I would want to have like a 24 access option, but I want 100 people.
Yeah.
I want 100 people because there's
like
no
capped
way,
off.
I want capped off
at
100.
Same. Yep.
And I want like you ain't like you're gonna get a little bit more than just access. There's gonna be other shit here, but like in like modalities and blah 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 stuff like that. So it's gonna be like you're gonna pay some money.
Oh yeah, like I want a smoothie bar in mine. I want the whole nine.
I want sauna. I want polar plunges. I want everything.
Yep.
So I want like and if she stays say in Midland, you have the community center, you have North End, you have Planet Fitness.
You have to go different places to get different things.
Yeah.
If you have it all in one area, it'd be way better.
Exactly. And honestly, those three aren't really like. I mean, they're good. The community center does have a lot of those things, but they're all, I gotta go all the way over here. I gotta go here. You know, it's different. And like, when I went on that trip, you go out west, and you go to gyms out west, your mind is fucking blown.
Oh yeah.
Like you go to EOS or Powerhouse, like you have a full jacuzzi, fucking swimming pool. You have anything you could possibly think of in the weight room, and then add like 5 of them.
Yep.
Like, yes, I understand I don't have the market in Midland to have that.
Right.
But I could have a weight room that has one of everything and one of, like, maybe not a pool, unless I get an outdoor one or whatever. Like, that's, like, way down the road. But, like, I would love a basketball court.
Yep.
I would love a sauna, polar plunge. And if I had all that in a tight, knit area, and my process for you to get into that gym was, like, for you to pay to come into, like, a place that's right next to my fucking house, you're going to be paying some money because I don't want you fucking around with my house.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a whole other, like, situation there. And obviously I'm not, like, house gym.
Right.
Like, some distance. But it would be so cool. And then, like, your funnel would be your classes or your private, semi-private training. So then all of a sudden these people are coming training with you, personal trainer, boom, and they're like, okay, well, we're to the point where we don't need you as much. We're learning. Yeah. But, like, we would love to still
work out here,
be here, because this is the best possible situation in our area. And then you just, boom, I'm like, I have that. If that 100 clients that have that access can cover the lights, the basics, and then whatever else makes my money,
I'm
chilling.
And the thing you had mentioned at first was that, the market may not be the best in Midland. Well, here's the thing, is that if there's no market there, you create one. Yeah. And so for you, also stuff that you just mentioned, that creates a market.
Exactly, because it's all in one area.
Yes.
And it's easy, and it's... And then I think the whole, like, what you said, like, you obviously said the limited 24-hour, like, imagine, evolution is cool, because when you walk in there, for the vast majority, you can be like, hi. Yep. Like, I know you. Yep. We hang out at the gym. We talk at the gym. Instant you leave there, I'll never see you. Yep. But, like, we're cool there. Right. Now just imagine if you have, we're all in Midland, and you got doctors, you got nutritionists, you got, the
networking opportunity is crazy.
If I niched it down to not only am I getting people that want to be fitness related, I get people that also can help me the fuck out. Yeah. In the process. Yeah. So that would be, in her being at the hospital. Yeah. I could just be like, okay, doctor. Yeah. And doctors will pay a premium. Yes. To have exclusive, like, okay, I have this sick ass gym, like, not the community center, not my own little home gym. I have everything I could need done and signed, sealed. No one else is getting in lockdown, because 100 people are way easier to track. Yes. Who's bringing? Yes. Like, I don't know this, but I would love to know how many people are actually on Evolution's list. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's just the thing, is that, like I said, with everything that you just described, you will create a market for itself. The next thing would just be being able to deliver on that, because
that coaching aspect. Yeah. To bring the exact.
Correct. Because people will always have a pushback of, okay, why go to this really nice gym? I go to Planet Fitness and then whatever. Yeah. Or, like, if that gym's that nice, I have to be very serious about working out. Yeah. A lot of people are like, I just want to get into it. Exactly. You got to be able to present it in a way to where it's, like, user friendly. Yep. Or not. I don't really want mine to be like user. Yeah. Like, I want it to be like, hey, like, if you come here, it's a commitment.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I will also be here too as well. And if you give off some negative energy, I'm straight.
Exactly.
I'm straight on
I'll
it.
be here for fucking 9 hours
I'm straight.
a day.
I'm straight. Because I don't want to be the owner of a gym that's like, I'll pop in at 5 p.m., see what's going on, check the numbers, and I'm out. No. I can't stand that. Or the gym owner who just sits behind the desk the whole time. Like, if I'm going to have my shit going, we rocking the entire time that I'm in there.
Exactly.
You know, and that's how it should, because it's like, that is, in a lot of ways, that's your child. Would you just put your child in daycare all day, come see him, check on him? Are you good? All right, I'm going to go back home now. Like, no, like, we going to be there like
But isn't that crazy? Because everyone does that.
Yeah.
You just you meet your daycare, you meet your caretaker, and it's just like, okay, I trust you with my kid 8 hours a day, and it's just like, also I have to pay you to do it.
That's what you get.
So I can go do my job to pay you.
Yes, outside of it, yeah.
That's just, in my mind, I'm just like, that's so asinine. If I could literally like, and once again, I'm in a situation to where I don't have a job. Mm-hmm. If we're like mildly savings, she's got it.
Yeah,
I'm not worried.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's just like, okay, now I bring in any extra cash with this. We're already set.
Well,
and I can...
And then some.
Yeah, and then I can take care... Yeah, and just imagine a gym actually, like, being that small and, like, amazing coaches. Like, amazing coaches are premium.
Oh, yeah.
If I can sit here and do semi-private training with 4 people, and those 4 people come out 12 weeks later looking like fucking Greek gods, or however like they want it to look, and they have that positive, bro, I'm not gonna worry about clients,
right?
Because then your semi-private training and your one-on-one training, they don't have to be members.
No.
I can train whoever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
But once you get good, do you want us to kind of be in the gym with you pretty much all the time?
Right. Right.
Like, I mean, I'm not gonna go out of my way to personal train you, but if you got questions and I'm in the gym, what the, like, you're gonna fucking ask me and I'm gonna answer them.
Yes. And I was listening to I forgot, I mean, who was again? People buy like the experience with you more so than they will like your training.
Yeah.
So it's like, so it's like, if a brand new gym opened up and it was amazing, the initial like glim and glam will get you going, like, oh, this is dope, but like, you want to kind of know, like, who's the people, who's the trainers in here, who's the staff, who's the owner, who's the people that are working out. If those things aren't in accordance, you probably won't be there that long.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Planet Fitness is a pretty gym, very pretty gym, but you look at the front desk, you look at the trainers, you're like, I might not be here that long.
You look at the people in it, you look at the equipment in it. I can already tell you just by the equipment in it, I know I don't want to be there.
Right, but some people though, starting off, it's pretty, it's clean, and then you get there for a few months, you're like, okay, but like, where's the intensity at? Like, okay, I'm coming every day, but I'm not seeing results because there's no one in here to sell you on the culture.
And then if you get at all aggressive,
then you out of there. You out of there. So, and I think they've done a better job now of trying to change their culture a little bit because they realize the former model isn't working or going to be as efficient. Now the other gyms are popping up and having such success. So Planet Fitness will always have its place. Yeah. I think if you're just starting off and you want a quote-unquote community, you want something that's pretty user-friendly, go there. Sure. Absolutely.
But I just don't think long term you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, Planet Fitness is the fucking place to be.
And like I said though, but for some people, if it works for you, then go for it. But like, there's a coming time to where there needs to be a certain level of like autonomy to where you can do things on your own. And having a constant machine or instruction list, like, it takes away from the experience.
And that constant flow of people.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, the main reason, the only reason I wanted to do the limiting of members to the 24 access is because I don't want to walk in there at 5 and have to worry about shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's literally, there's a lot of other perks that come with limited, whatever. That's the main reason.
Yeah.
And it also, those 100 people also probably feel that way too.
Yeah.
And like, not all 100 people are going to come in at 5.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
I also don't want to have to be replacing equipment every few months.
Yeah.
If you look at a place like Evolution where they got to replace bands and different cables and stuff, then you see some of the actions that people are doing on these cables and
you realize
bands.
Why.
Yeah.
But then you get people playing a premium to be there. They ain't gonna break it.
No, and also, like I said, it's like, how often, I guarantee you the bulk of the things that get broken happen later at night. Because people are more adventurous. Oh, no one's in the gym, I'm gonna try this new exercise I saw on TikTok.
Yeah.
tie a band to a machine and then put the machine on the cable because no one's in there. So I'm gonna do it, and it snaps everything apart, and you're like, oh shit, put it in the corner.
Yeah, and it's hard to map that out because you're not gonna watch 8 hours of filming.
Correct. So I'm like, look, when me or my last trainer leave, the gym shut down for the night. Now, if there's a select few that are like, hey, I can't make it in time, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But like just having it be like you sign up, you automatically get 24/7 access. Hell no, because like I said, there's people that don't know, or the newbie who's like, I'm gonna go and there's no one there, so I don't want to be embarrassed. And then they're in the machine slamming weights and put the pin in the wrong, messing up stuff, bro. Like it's
just the newbiness of being a gym.
Or the person I think thinks that they know everything, so they're like hooking up, like I said, bands to cables to the dumbbell and letting it be like a lever system somehow. Just wild stuff, bro. That I've seen.
When they're doing the fucking Spider-Man.
They're
holding onto the tricep or the fucking and it's like, what are we doing here? That's a good core exercise.
So it's like imagine walking into your gym
and seeing
like late night, just doing like a little walkthrough. I'm like, bro, get out, bro. You gotta go.
Are you 12?
You gotta go, bro.
Yeah, that would be immediate.
Yes.
It'd be immediate.
Yes. How you doing, ma'am?
Amy wanted me to bring out
cookies.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, dude, it's that's my thing. Is why I want to keep it limited for sure.
Yeah, and it just makes it, and that's what I think business wise too. If you can get more out of your clients,
good, by the way.
If you can get more out of your clients with you doing less work, or like if I can be more specific to more people because you're giving me more money, therefore I don't need all these other clients, like that's the point. Like I would much rather have that situation, but if you're not willing to pay me, then this is what I got to do, and this is the crap you're gonna get. And it's just like people don't realize that's how that kind of works.
Right.
So, but no, ultimately that would be like kind of in the same boat. Like I would love to have that to where it's a business. If I want to coach, I can coach. And then and that's also cool. Like, what if your whole job was like, okay, I bought this gym, I made it, I made it sustainable. It's not going crazy, but like I'm chilling.
Yeah.
My bills are paid. But then all of a sudden, I would like to coach. If I was in Midland and I had kids, I'm gonna get in fucking Dow, wherever my kids are gonna go, and I'm probably gonna coach football, basketball. I'm gonna be an assistant and not give a shit because A, I got the time. B, all this other good stuff. So down the road, I'm good. And now I'm meeting kids.
Create more clients.
You get more clients, and you're meeting kids out of high school. And it's like, what's your career path? What do you like to do? Oh, I mean, all I do is, and then the kid proves it. Like, kid fucking works out. The kid actually studies shit.
Yeah.
He doesn't just work out and, like, do what he's blindly told.
Right.
And, like, oh, I want to, and it's like, oh, would you like, I would legitimately love for you to come to my gym. I'll coach you. You want a business? Boom. I'll get, you're not going to be obviously at our level, but, like, you're going to be, you're going to need that process.
Yeah.
And that is, and I could literally sell them. I'm like, dude, I created this for myself to be happy. This has nothing to do with clients. I mean, it does, but it has nothing to do with their interests.
Right.
They're getting their best interest because I'm getting mine. You want to be a part of that?
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
And it was just, and the whole, I even went, I really like to manifest shit. So I really focus on the future without doing the work to get there, obviously.
Yep.
But eventually it does snowball. That's how, that's how I do shit. I have literally I got a program to where you can design a facility just for
it's awesome.
It's free. And I was like, you know what? This is magically what I would do. Yeah. And I have it would be 100 by 100 or 100 by 50 building. I can fit a basketball court on one half. I can fit the gym on the other. Second story on the other half, to where just like more, you have a loft. You can look down at the court. But then my whole top would be, I would like a club, like a comedy club, or like a mini bar. So it's not like an actual bar. But a place to where I can hold events.
Right.
And it'd be sick as fuck.
Yeah.
And then a little mini library, an office, all my gym down below, have my little locker room, all that shit. And best case scenario, if that were to happen, I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, I thought about this when I was 26, and now it happened. And you can just sit there and just be like, okay, this is fucking chilling.
Trust me, bro. I think about that stuff so often, where I'm like, ideally for me, it's one of the biggest things is that before I even have an actual, and maybe it'll come before, who knows, but before I have an actual like brick and mortar place for people to come,
yeah.
I want to, which obviously now brings up a whole bunch of different things because like with me doing policing,
yeah,
your schedule's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But in the perfect world, and I can say perfect world, in the world that I'm trying to create, or I'm hoping aligns with what God has planned for me, I want to be able to travel and just hold seminars. It's like maybe 2-day seminars, like from like Saturday, well Friday to Friday to Saturday, where I go speak at a gym in Australia or Italy or wherever.
Coach, yeah,
and just say, hey, listen, this is my methodology of things. Any questions in the class? I mean, in the thing, whatever, and they pay me. These are other trainers coming to hear me speak and then ask questions, and I can give them answers or point them in the right references.
Yeah.
From there, you make a killing because they're probably gonna pay for you where you're staying at. They'll probably pay you a nice price to come talk.
Yeah.
Then you go home back to like America.
Brick and mortar, where your bills are paid.
Yes.
And you're
So now the physical part of it is just like, this is extra because I just went on the road for 2 days on a weekend where my gym might even be closed. I'm on the weekend, come back, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
And I just created a new network. So now let's say these people from Italy heard me talk, or in Georgia heard me talk.
Yeah, you can
online or like have them be a new resource to where now if I have a client who comes in, they're foreign or they want a different type of training style. But I met a guy in New Jersey or in Georgia or in Italy or whatever. I can hey, there's a guy online. This is his Instagram page or whatever. You can go to talk to him.
Yeah.
Like
the networking.
Yeah. And like I'm the type of person where like I really just would love just talking more so than me having to train 100 clients. Don't want to do that anymore. I want maybe 10 to 15 exclusively online people, which is fine with me, my gym, and I want to be able to talk for my main source of income. So go and speak to schools, go and speak to colleges.
Your 10 clients could be high ticket enough to where you're like, I'm chilling with this money.
But you also get a chance to educate and grow. Yes, and grow.
Because you're not going to grow just doing 10 clients.
In Midland.
Yeah.
You know, so now I'm going to Chicago. I'm speaking at the biggest personal training seminar there. Bang, I'm going to Texas doing the same thing. Like,
so like, you know, have you ever seen John Russin?
Heard of him. Yeah.
Bald guy.
Yeah.
He has his own I can't remember exactly what it's called, but he has his own like methodology of training, obviously. Okay. And
because he does like the warm up, the words like
But he literally like his whole methodology, all of his stuff, he just teaches that course. Mm-hmm. So he's like, this is why we do this. This is all my I don't even know what they're called again. This is all my assessments. These are all my post assessments. This is how I train. This is blah blah blah. Like literally break down like everything. Mm-hmm. And he'll do the 2-day course like you said. Yeah. And you'll come and you'll pay $600 each to see him. Yeah. And then you sit there and you're just like, okay, I have a bunch of like-minded individuals that are
so you
like,
can actually
we're
go
just
in depth.
Here to,
you can go in depth. Because I mean, if you think about it, if you charge $600 for a 2-day seminar, that's not a lot of money. My CrossFit thing was $1,000 for a weekend, and that I didn't pay for it, but like that's $1,000, and we had 30 people in that class. You do the math.
Yeah, that's 30,000. Yeah.
So CrossFit just would say okay, and like all the CrossFit level 1 certification does for you is you can use the namesake CrossFit in your gym or in your training.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's it. It doesn't make you like some crazy like guru now.
No. It's just the basic
level
levels.
1 trainer.
What's the highest level? Isn't it just 3?
I don't know.
4?
It's like 4 or 5. They keep coming up with new ones and stuff, and like they get more in depth as you go. But like a lot of what you learn on level 1, you just kind of build upon that, and you're good to go.
That's all it is. Yeah.
But 30,000 pretty much in a weekend for some of these places.
Yeah.
Imagine if you did the 600 a month. I mean the 600 a person, you get 12 people that show up. Just 12 people show up. For some people, that's enough to keep their gym going for the month. Yeah,
exactly.
You know, and you can
and that's a weekend that you enjoy going on.
Or you can even hold the seminar at your gym. So at your gym, you invite people to come in. They see your gym. Oh wow, this is a nice gym, and they're paying you. Now they may come back just to work with you.
Yeah.
Or tell, hey, I want to run
your trainer.
Yeah.
Oh, come work. Oh
yeah.
You're in the area. I didn't know that. Oh, you want to come work? Yeah. Let's see it. And then they can take all their clients there, and then you're just liquidating people. You're just like, okay.
And it's a lot easier to sell someone on like I know some guys who do like 1 day, but like it's a lot easier to sell someone on like, hey, 2 days, $600. I mean, you get a free little goodie bag, maybe like an ebook that I made that you can have take home, so you get your money's worth.
Yeah,
you get your money's worth because like I said, a lot of times like for the CrossFit one, like I didn't come home with anything new. Like we did workouts.
Yeah.
and we
you
learned.
Come home
and with certification.
Yeah.
But like, imagine if people were like, "Hey, if you go to CrossFit, I'm gonna give you the ebook. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you a water bottle." Still, it goes a long way.
It does.
And so I feel like me being able to go and talk and offer any type of just like benefit to people beyond just the educational part of it. Like, you get the experience of talking face to face like this, or they get, like I said, like a little trips and tricks and ebooks.
It's like also crazy too, like when you see actual people in person moving, you can critique like doing this.
Yeah.
And then like you can make a lot of people feel really different by just like, okay, do this, and then they're like, oh shit, I've never, like, it don't matter how long what your training age is. Yeah. There's my buddy who's been lifting longer than me. I'll tell him something, he'll be like, I've never felt that before in my life. I'm like, okay, like
and that's what it's about. Because I mean, like, and holding those in-person seminars too, you can have a like, I want to have it to where I have like demos. So I have like a seated like machine, seated like extension machine up there, or like a bench press up there, and I'll have trainers that are paying to come up there. Hey, how would you teach your client how to bench press? And they'll show me. Okay, this is how I would do it. So like, now they're not just sitting there.
Have like a fake client.
Yeah, they're not just sitting there like taking notes, listen to me ramble. They're able to come up here and hands on. Yeah. Once again, that money now doesn't seem as much of a big of an issue to them
when you're learning shit.
Yeah,
you're not sitting there just
because some people are
theoretical.
Hands-on.
It's all theoretical when you're doing shit like that. Just like you said, when it comes to your own training plan, like unless you do it, you don't fucking know.
Correct.
And it's same thing. You go to a seminar, you just write shit down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is why I did like the CrossFit one, because like, even though it was a lot of sitting, a lot of learning, it was like, okay, now we're about to go do Fran, or now we're about to go do Cindy, or whatever workout it was of the day. So we just learned about all the movements, how to do them the right way. Now we're about to go implement them. It's competition. It's time. It's like you go from like nerd to, all right, bet I can actually go compete now. Yeah. You know, so it was cool to see it that way, and that's what kind of got me, like, that's how I want to run my seminars, is like not having it be just me talking and you in the crowd just writing it down. Yeah, you're gonna come upstairs. Yeah, come up here, show me how you would do it.
For CrossFit, for cross training like that, is there like, you actually have to be a minimum like athletic ability?
No, so CrossFit got a bad rep because there's bad coaches. Yeah. But really, they teach you like the standard movement. They teach you the progression of that movement, and they teach you the regression. Yeah. So you will go from, for example, let's go with a back squat. Okay, client can't do a back squat. We take them down to a box squat. Can't do a box squat. We take them down to just sit down on a box and stand up. Yeah. Okay. Now, in the inverse of that, you go from a back squat. Okay, looks pretty good. Yeah. Let's go to an overhead squat. Yeah. Assessment. Okay, you have some mobility issues, but we can work on this. Eventually, you can get to an overhead squat, and from there, you can go into like a snatch. Power snatch. Not a full one, just like you catch it. And then, Now, the same thing can be done if you're looking at an overall squat progression. So we could go from, I personally would do, just a stationary split squat. Because if you have the stability, there it is, to stay stable, you can probably squat on 2. From there, we'll go into like just sitting on a box, up. Okay, that's pretty easy for you. Let's go to a goblet squat, holding a dumbbell in front. Perfect. Let's go to a Frankenstein squat, front squat, then to a back squat. Back squat is actually pretty damn
far in the
list. Yeah. For me at least. Yeah. Some people it's like no, and like not every client goes to that. So some clients come in, they're like, they're able to do a goblet squat. So I'm not gonna have you do a split squat, okay? Or they're able to do a pretty good front squat. So we're gonna start at front squat and just go from there. But the back squat is actually pretty tough.
Yeah. You learn that when you go work for Coach Welsh too. Yeah, you're like 1, 2, like there's.
Which I was shocked. I was shocked that they did that. I didn't know. I thought it was like something like I like to do and like I've seen other trainers do. Yeah. So when they said, I'm like, damn, they
got to make sure that they can fucking do it first. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was awesome.
Well, you get kids. I'm telling you right now, when I worked there,
I was shocked.
There is a huge range of weight room ability. Doesn't matter how good you are at catching a football. Because it's all them wide receivers.
Yeah, and you see them and they're just like,
it's like, what? You're like, how are you 185 on your back? And you're like crumbling, bro. Yes. And that just, bro. It really makes it like, and that's also what makes me mad about not hitting puberty on time. Because I, movement-wise, was fucking sound. Yeah. I could, I was very skilled. I just could not put the force into those skills to be that fast or that strong, but I fucking knew how to do it. And that's what made me mad, because I'm like, oh my god, half you fuckers don't know how to do that either. Yep. And then you obviously got the when I was there, we had Lou Nichols and fucking Bernard.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if you've ever done this, but split squat and you grab like 120-pound dumbbells in each hand and then you just start casually fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a whole nother level of athleticism you've never experienced before.
Right.
It was awesome. I saw two guys and then they were like, okay, one's 320 pounds
and one's
a running back,
205.
Yeah. And you're seeing them do that, and then they look at each other, and they're like, how much does he have?
Yeah.
And it's 120, and he's like,
I'm gonna grab another one.
Get the fucking other ones.
Yep.
And it's just like, oh, then he's like, give me that shit. And then,
I love it.
And now instead of being over here, now they're in the same fucking group.
Yep.
And they're just doing it back and forth until they die.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my god. And then the only person that stops them in that situation is Coach Welsh.
It's the coach. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, Coach Welsh is gonna let that shit go until
it's unsafe.
Until it's unsafe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's Dude, Coach Welsh, I had him on a podcast, and I never thought that would ever happen. It was really funny. He came into Dunham's.
I actually heard it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
He came into Dunham's, and I literally, I looked at him, because I was waiting for him to realize who it was, and he's like, I felt you staring at me. I just didn't know who you were. And then I was like, yeah, I started this podcast. He's like, and I was going to ask you, but, like, obviously, like,
right, you're
bugging busy, dude. He's like, yeah, send me the information. I was like, 2 hours, and whenever you want to do it, and I can bring all the shit to you. Yeah. He's like, 8 o'clock this day. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it was ready. He was ready.
Yeah, bye. I'll change whatever I need to change.
He was ready. Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, that was fucking dope. It was like, and then we sat in there, and he yelled at one of the assistant strength coaches came in and turned the radio up and was fucking lifting by himself, and he fucking bangs on the don't that shit down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
No,
he's
so
awesome.
Cool.
He's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's by far, and like, I didn't know Novak, but I was around too when Novak was there.
Okay.
And just to hear like I was equipment manager when Novak was there, so I could hear like Novak is like this super Olympic lifting guy, blah blah blah. And then I talked to other players, and I was like, they're like, dude, I've never been stronger than when I was with Coach Welsh. He's like, I remember I was able to like do other things with the other coaches, but like, bro, I put on heft once I started working with Coach Welsh, and I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It was, and it's a great, and like testing. Were you ever there for like obviously testing and stuff? So I would be the guy that held the clipboard for writing down articles.
Yep.
And that's when Troy Brown was there, and we walk in and you do the pre like deadlift heavy as fuck, and then you like walk over and you do your jump, and this fucker got like 44, 45 inches, and like you watch him do it, and he just kind of like floats there for a sec, and then he comes down, and then he had the thing, and his face just, he goes like, what the fuck? Yeah. And then he shows me, and I'm like, I literally I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And like all the players are now like, what the fuck? Like what's happening?
Yeah.
And then we showed them, and they're like, the whole place just goes nuts. And this is when we're in the concourse for COVID because we couldn't be in the gym.
Right.
So like we're in the middle of a mezzanine. We got 40 just jacked dudes going nuts because someone can jump that high.
Dude. But that's a culture though. That's a culture
it was awesome.
That's
it was awesome. I couldn't, and like, and just be able to like how he got everyone to like work so hard in like the shittiest of conditions.
Buy in.
Like we're up there at 8 a.m., 7 a.m. It's cold as fuck out, and you can't back squat because there's no squat racks.
Right.
You have to front rack that shit, and now we're doing front squats and power cleans and shit like that because that's just where we're at, and
that's wild.
Yeah, it was so
crazy
cool.
time. It was a crazy time, bro.
It was so cool, and like you see these guys, and they're like not ideal situations, but they come in there and they're just fucking
the juice.
And like KP,
yeah,
I've never seen a dude that small throw around power cleans so fucking easy.
No, he was that way in high school too.
Bro, he literally, like, he was doing 285 on power clean, and it, like, I mean, that shit was butter. It was just pop, done, come up. And then you get Lou Nichols, who's in his group, another 40 fucking pounds, same shit, doesn't look nearly as good. Yeah. Because he just, like, you just can't do that.
Right, yeah.
And it's just like, oh my God, like, it's crazy. It's so cool.
It is definitely awesome to get all those different spectrums of athletes and of all different shapes and sizes and strength levels, and really it's awesome to see them where they are cognitively, because some guys genuinely they're strong enough, fast enough, they don't understand how to move a certain way. Yeah. And that goes very back to the very beginning of all this, where it's like having kids or youth or younger players do a multitude of sports, do sports that incorporate a lot of proprioceptive things, helps. Yeah. A lot of the kids you see at CMU or at D1 schools specialize in football from the time that they were 8 until then.
Yeah.
You can see that in some of those kids. Imagine if some of these kids did wrestling, did gymnastics, and then did dancing. They would all be so much far ahead because they will understand, okay, when I do a power clean, there is a moment in time where the bar is really floating in the air. It is my job to coordinate myself in a position where I can catch this the most efficient way possible. Mm-hmm. If I have not been required to move my body in space like that, I'm fucked. Same thing with a back squat. It looks pretty much like it's a closed chain exercise. You squat down, squat. No, because the bar is in the space where I can't see it. My body is pretty much, if I wanted to fall backwards, I could. If I want to fall, there's nothing stopping me.
Yeah.
I'm in space. I have a weight on my back that I can't see. And I'm expected to flex in a certain way from the hips, knees, ankles, etc., to where I can keep this perfectly over my center of mass. Otherwise, I'm going to have a deviation that's going to hurt me or cause it to be harder.
Yeah. And it's
proprioception.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that understanding or that foundation, you get to college and you're told, all right, this is what you got on the card today. 315 for how many? And I only did this in high school. Oh, I'm screwed. And you panic and you do some shit that is completely not okay. And then you get hurt. Or it hurts. It just genuinely hurts. Or you can't progress.
Yeah.
If you can't do it right, you cannot progress. Because it comes to a point where your body can't compensate for that deviation anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Dude, do you know what time it is?
I do not.
Could you take it? Don't look. You looked.
I did.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was gonna say guess.
I know. I looked. I will. Yeah.
That's 3 hours.
That's crazy. It did not feel that long at all.
It's crazy. I like doing it, and I like telling people that after the fact, because then people are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But, like, because some of them, you'll do, like, an hour and a half, and people will be like, oh, yeah, that was quick. And it's like, yeah, that really kind of was quick.
Yeah.
And if we went any longer, you wouldn't have known the difference.
Yeah.
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 But that shit's fun.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though.
That's how much shit we talked about.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
So, yeah, down the road, once I get that, we'll have a podcast in there. We can reminisce.
Yeah.
But once I'm decked out.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It'll be
good
sick.
Establishment. I'm excited.
And then, we can figure that out, and maybe down the road our trainer lives will cross. Absolutely. That'd be dope as fuck.
I ain't going anywhere, man. I'm gonna be here. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, me too.
There we go.
As long as she sticks around, I'll
there
be
we
here.
go.
But yeah. Boom.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot.
You're welcome. Thanks for being on.
Thank you for having me.